Somebody has got to turn off that chainsaw a little faster. That's okay. I'm working on a new intro now. So, oh, I've got a little bit of an echo. I'm turning off my echo real quick. Making sure I've got all the other windows closed and everything. Okay, that ought to do it. So, hello everybody, and welcome back. It's been a pretty good week here. I've got a lot of time in on the go-kart, and I'm going to give you a quick look in a little while about how it's going. It's really coming out pretty good. Turns out the weed eater motors, well, they didn't work out, but the chainsaw motors looking promising. It's I don't want to get ahead of myself and give up the next video, but it's coming out pretty good. It looks nice. I'm going to show you images of it in a little bit. So let's see what we got in the house today. We'll start from the top down. Dave, DNR. Hey, Dave. I don't know if you're still here. That one shows at 9:25, and then I got Sparky at 9:40 this morning. I see Big Wayne's here. Wayne says that somebody a drawing of me. Sent Big Son a drawing of me. Those of you that don't know, um, Big Son is Ronaldo. He's famous for his artwork. It's arguably really good artwork. I like it, but it's fun to give him a hard time about it. See who else we got here. Rusted Roland. Hey, Rusted Roland. He's saying hi to everybody. DNR's back. Oh, Big Al McLean. Hey, Al. How you doing? And John Perks. I used to know a guy named John Parks. That's pretty similar. Okay, I put the link out there, by the way, guys, so feel free to jump in. Who else you got? Hi, Randy. See Randy Turboli here. And me, and me, and me, and me. Let's take a look real quick. I've got the card up here. Share the screen, entire screen, buggy. Okay, this is where we started a few weeks ago. I got this in a trade, and that's a little bit pitiful looking. It came out pretty nice. And this is when we got it to the point where we'd extended the front end on it and moved the pedals and changed the cables out, and we put a brand new motor on it and extended the brake rod out. And she runs faster than you're ever going to want to run. It's pretty impressive little ride. But it wasn't all about how fast we can make it go. It was about what can we do to it that'll be fun. Now I'll admit I tried weed eater motors, and I put one on, and it just wouldn't move the cart. It just didn't have the oomph to get it rolling. And if I geared it up enough to get it rolling, it'd only go about 4 miles an hour. So that just wouldn't do. So I went to 2 weed eater motors, and well, it did get it rolling. The clutches came apart trying to get it rolling. So I realized that weed eater motors just don't have the clutches and things. They're not sturdy enough to make it go correctly unless I put a whole bunch of them on. So I decided to go a little bit bigger and go with a chainsaw motor. Happened to find this chainsaw, and it was in the last video. I got this chainsaw, and it's a tight little motor. Thing sounds good, and it's just mock fitted up there right now. I put it up there while I was doing measurements to make sure everything was going to work correctly and the gearing would be right. Oh, hey, you like the joke? I always try to put a few new ones up there. I try to get a new one every week, just for the fun of it. Yeah, this motor came out really nice, and it just screams as it is. But what we're going to do is get it running in 100% factory configuration, and then we're going to change the carburetor and change the exhaust out and compare the acceleration and top end. And with a little bit of luck, and I can't give anything away, with a little bit of luck, I want to at least go as fast as the factory Robin motor went. The factory Robin motor was capable of 4 miles an hour. 4, that's it, 4. Or I'm sorry, 4 horsepower, 11 miles an hour. I got that wrong. But 11 miles an hour, you quickly discover is just not enough. It's not fun at that speed. And so the goal was to go faster than that with the chainsaw motor on it. I'll take 12. If it goes 12 miles an hour, I'll call it good. We've got somebody Burned, B-E-R-N-D, who's in here. Now, Burned, you got to turn your camera on before I let you up, because I got to make sure you got pants on and all that whatnot. You know how it is. I don't want to get the stream in trouble. The boss will fire me if I do. So, hey, Dave, you coming up today? I remember you said you wanted to come up on the screen at one point or another. Let me go over here. I'm actually using the stock chainsaw fuel tank. And just to give away what's coming up, I had to keep part of the case. You can see the case is cut up a little bit, but I had to keep part of it because the pull start is outside of the flywheel. And what I ran into is if I take the pull start off, it's got too much compression to start with a drill unless I use a great big old drill. And I just didn't want to do that. Hey, Wayne.
Bill, you got it mounted.
No, it's not mounted. It's just dry fitted right there.
Oh, okay. I was watching the video earlier.
Yeah, it will be mounted, but it's not yet. And that is how it sits. I welded up a little, I've got a 3.5-inch steel bracket, little L bracket.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an angle iron, not thick enough to call it an angle iron, but it's thick enough to hold the chainsaw motor. And so I welded 2 of them like this, and that's coming up in the video. I just definitely don't want to become a what do you call it, a welding channel, because I'm not that good at welding. I'm good enough to do the job.
Looks better with the chainsaw motor on it. I like it.
Yeah.
But it's a screaming little motor. And when you again, can't give things away, but it gets kind of loud before this whole party ends.
Say, Brock.
This was this particular picture was taken Friday.
You're putting it up on Friday?
No, this picture was taken Friday.
Oh, Friday. Okay.
Yeah. The picture that I showed you was taken Friday. So I'm kind of a little bit, let's say a step ahead of this right now, and I don't want to give away the next video.
Yeah.
You got some talent, man.
Well, it's not talent; it's imagination. You really have to look at the pieces and say, how can I fit those together? And I never showed the chainsaws the weed eaters going on. Mm-hmm. And the reason I didn't show it was because it was a disaster. It was just a disaster. And I went through 3 motors and I sent them all to their graves. Or me and my brother are joking that I'm sending motors to Valhalla. So I sent 3 weed eaters to their graves trying to get them to run. And I said, weed eaters, they just don't have the oomph. And it would take at least 4 of them to get a reasonable speed out of it. Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, my goal is to go faster than it went with the Subaru Robin engine on it, which was a 4-horse motor.
Yeah.
And what it has in horsepower, this thing's got an RPM. Mm-hmm. As you can see in the, let me bring it back up for just a sec. As you can see in the picture, I'm using the jack gear, and I showed you the extension of the jack gear that I was playing with in the video.
Yeah.
Where I moved it around and I put spacers in and all that, and that all came out good. And the gear works tight. The gear works correctly. Before I was done, I had to get that bolt out. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. I had to get this bolt out of the way. That's the spacer bolt. I might
Yeah.
have to weld something up so it's got something to bump up to. Because it bumps up to the back of the motor normally when you're running a regular motor in it. And regular has left the building. Yeah, we gave up on regular a while ago on this one. But I'll tell you what, I was disappointed in how the weed eater motors went, and I was surprised at how the chainsaw motor went.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that for right now.
Yeah.
I'm anxious.
You
It's
see
a fun
Big
toy.
Son's video? You see Big Son's video with your picture on there, Bill?
I did not see it yet.
Well,
When I
you
saw
gotta-
that, I said, "Oh,
You got to check it out. I already screwed it up by telling you that it was Big Bird. That was Mufasa 888 sent him a bunch of stuff in the video, and you're in there.
I think he's one of my subscribers.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
think he
you
is.
and put a sharp picture of John Clement there that I think you'll appreciate. I got a good laugh out of it.
But now I never miss Big Son's videos, but the go kart, between the go kart and a very special little problem I had this week, it kept me super busy. I ran into a problem I've never had before. I had 2 lawn services come and empty me out last week. I mean, I've got 3 edgers, and that's all, and 2 weed eaters that don't have all the parts yet. That's all I've got. And because the guys came along and basically they bought everything I had. So now I've got 2 people waiting for lawnmowers that I don't have yet, that I don't own yet. So I've been scrambling around trying to find things to work on.
You got to find a scrapper.
Yeah.
Like we got a guy that Jake's good friends with here, and he'll call me up and he'll have a truckload. Now we told him that we'll just buy, like, we just want the newer stuff. We don't want a lot of the older equipment.
Yeah.
But if he's got old ones that got good decks, I'll take them just for the decks.
Yeah, you don't want a 1994 snapper.
Well, I don't know. My snapper, I don't know what year my snapper is that I've got, the self-propelled mower, but it's a beauty. And I got that for $10 in boxes.
You know, I got that chainsaw motor for $10.
Yeah.
And what happens now? I'm guessing, but I think it fell out of a truck because it had no blade. The blade cover still had the blade cover and the top cover still had pieces sitting on screws from the covers.
Oh.
So either somebody took it apart with a crowbar or it fell off a truck.
Or somebody stole it just for the chain and the bar.
I would find it hard to believe that they would pull it off that way, though, because it was really torn up.
But that clutch didn't look like it had any wear in it at all.
The motor looks good, too. The motor, you know, when you look inside, it looks new.
Yeah.
And it's got a metric ton of compression.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of noise if you take the muffler off.
Mm.
Or if you drill holes in the muffler. That's all I'm going to say about that. It makes a lot of noise. And they talk about needing back pressure. But with a non-valved engine, back pressure is mostly optional. You do need a little bit, but you don't need much, you know, especially if you plan on blowing the motor up. But yeah, the neighbors aren't loving me right now. We'll just leave it at that. I live in a very, very quiet neighborhood,
Good to
except
keep
for when I'm
peace with
home.
the neighbors.
It's kind of like
the
around here.
neighbors.
No, we got good neighbors. We got good neighbors over here because their equipment all gets fixed right away. They get it back the same day.
That's how we roll in my neighborhood. They say, "You got a weed eater?" And I'll look and I'll say, "What did I spend on that?" I'm about $25 into it. Sure, you can have that one for $25. You know,
Yeah, as long as you get your money back.
and that's what I do is try to balance out.
Yeah, I always say if you want to have a party, invite your neighbors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Important.
Yeah.
like I run around in the fall and clean everybody's leaves,
Mm.
and I sort of ninja my way through. I do it when they're not home.
Ugh.
That way, they know who did it, but I won't admit to doing it. But they know who did it, so they tend to be forgiving when it's time for me to crank up that 22 horse John Deere at 6:22 in the morning in the middle of summer. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, my problem around here is because the reason why I quit working on everybody else's stuff is because of the neighbors. Our houses are like this far apart, and it's not zoned. That's why I quit working on a full-time business. They said I could still work on my own stuff as long as I don't go working on it like at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
or 6 at night. So
Yeah.
Well, I am in Texas, and it gets a little warm here in the summer. And when I wake up in the morning and I look at the clock and it's 5:30, and then I look at the thermometer and it says 96, I say I am not going to wait until 10 o'clock to start cutting the yard.
yeah,
No.
so
So I'm going to cut before the sun's all the way up.
Yeah, I moved from the city to the country just recently, and I got to stop myself like, oh, well, I can fire this up. There's nobody here, you know?
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
no
yeah.
neighbors?
My uncle's got
No.
that same situation. He's
No.
in the middle of Indiana. Let me catch up on our list. Hey, Robert. And Barry's here. Hey, Barry. And
Robert,
Francis Lang. Hello. Good afternoon, Francis Lang. So, anyway, what you been up to this week, Wayne?
not a lot. A couple of riding mowers, and one guy asked if I could fix one mower for him, and he'd give me a self-propelled, as long as there were no charge for his. So that worked out good. And I actually just finished painting it last night, so it looks like a brand new lawnmower. And I sold it to the Chubby Butcher and give him a good deal on it that he can go and resell it without doing any work and make himself maybe $50 on it or more, up to him what he wants to charge for it.
Yeah. I was
But-
just offered that
Mm.
in exchange for a weed eater and a blower.
What?
But now this has been sitting for a year.
And you're going to get it?
Well, yeah, if I can find a freaking weed eater.
You'd be surprised how many we threw in the scrap.
I know the local mower shops throw them away all the time, but they've already found me, and they've already caught me in their dumpster once or twice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's actually their recycle bin. I call it their dumpster,
Yeah.
but they've caught me in the recycle bin. So now they make sure that they're not really. They know what I want, and they make sure those parts aren't there, or they are there, but I have to carry them in a bag.
They don't have a recycle center like at your scrapyard, your local scrapyard?
I've been to 2 so far. The only one I haven't tried is that we've got a metal yard down the street,
Yeah, they might have it.
and metal yards might get stuff now and
Yeah,
again.
and then they'll sell it to you for a little better than they would have made on it in scrap.
Yeah, that's what I say. If they can get 6 for it, and I'll give them 10 for it,
Yeah, right.
they still win, and there's no processing involved.
Yeah, we've got a guy in St. Catharines, like we call him Big Joe. If you needed something, he had it, because he must have he had 3 or 4 different properties that just had thousands and thousands of lawnmowers, rototillers, snow blowers, like anything that had an engine, he had it. And he
Yeah,
got all of his stuff right from a scrapyard.
I've got a guy here. Now I'm over here now. I'm peeking over at Big Suns. I've got the suspicious package one.
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
it.
started. That's it.
That's the one.
I
It's
started
in
to
the
watch it.
suspicious package.
Mm-mm.
But you got to, I think it's near the middle of the video or something where he opens it up and he gets the painting, and then it's on the back of the painting.
I got to go see this. You know.
That's the painting, and now it's on the back if he shows the back.
Wow.
We got to see this. I'm probably gonna embarrass myself here, but that's okay.
That's actually a good drawing of a Cub Cadet. Like, for it
It
being
is.
so small, it looked really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I'm sitting here holding the camera, and it occurred to me I've got the button. I could be sharing the screen.
There it is. That's you in the middle, Bill.
How did I become Big Bird?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Look at John at the
Oh.
end.
No, John's the one on the right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, John's the one on the right.
Yeah.
That started as a joke in one of the other lives in Tough Conquers live, where I noticed that he always wore a yellow shirt. And I've got a 3D printer and I'm making things all the time. And so I made that.
Oh yeah.
And every time John would come up on a live, I'd sit here and go like this or go like this. And so he probably saw one of those lives. And it's kind of funny he does me as Big Bird because it's like I was sitting there talking to the guys on the live one time and he says, yeah, I was watching your videos. What are you, about 5'6", 5'5"? I went, no. Actually, in my glory days, I could dunk a basketball. Kind of longer than 5'6" or 5'5". So no, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", actually,
Somebody said Big John's 6'4". I think he said he's 6'3", same as me.
He's about 6'4".
Yeah. Looks
and I
like a
think-
big man.
Yeah, he does. And he sounds like a big guy, too.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you should advertise in one of those like Craigslist or something. I know a lot of people around here on Kijiji advertise wanted
Got two
free
of 'em.
mower. Oh, you got them, and you get any hits on those?
I do. Now, here's the kind of day I'm having, though. I had one guy call the guy that offered me that Cub Cadet.
Yeah.
He wanted something in exchange for it, and he says, "Yeah, I saw your ad, and I knew you must have something." K Paul just came bouncing in. Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Hey, K. But yeah, and when he did it, I said, "Of course he wants to trade something. Nobody's willing to sell me anything today."
Yeah.
But it was like 4 days ago when the guy just bought me out. Well, two guys came along.
Trades are not bad as long as you're getting something with value that you take a chance on a lot of stuff.
You really do.
But
I
for
probably-
the money,
For mowers, I probably save out of 15 of them, I probably save 13 or 14.
yeah.
For blowers, I'm not so lucky on. I only save about 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5 of those because too many people put gas in them.
Yeah.
And once they put gas in them, they don't have the value to make it worth saving them. They just don't.
Yeah, I think
Once the piston's gone, it's gone.
the most we've paid for a trade-in, like we'll have, let's say, a push mower that's worth $100 to $100, and depending upon the age, to $150 used but fully serviced. Self-propelled, they'll go anywhere from $175 to $300. I think I
You're
sold
paying.
one for $350 a self-propelled, and if somebody brought one in that they were trading in, I think the most I've given somebody on a trade-in was $30 or $35 for a self-propelled. So if I've got something that's for sale for $200 and I give them 25 off, they're paying me $175 and they're going out the door with a fully serviced mower that's likely the same age as what they're bringing in.
Yes.
And I'm just,
Yeah.
and I'm just taking a chance that I can get the mower going. I check it over to see if it's got compression and flip it on its side and see if the crankshaft's bent. But I bought that crankshaft straightener from Stens,
Oh, did you?
and I did 2 mowers, and I got them both within 10 thousandths of an inch.
Wow.
And I quit at that. 10 thousandths of an inch was perfect. There's no vibration.
Yeah, because you're taking a chance on metal fatigue if you fool it around too much.
Yeah, well, these you can pull over. I've got them where they're bent so much they're actually bent to the weighted lobes inside the crankshaft. I've got them bent where they're solid, where you can't pull the recoil because the crankshaft's bent so much. These you can pull over and fire up, and they vibrate. So normally they're bent about 1/8 of an inch, and it takes about 5 minutes to get one straight.
You mean fooling back and forth, or just getting
But
that
no,
bend?
from the time I mount it onto the there's 3 bolts to mount it onto the bracket. You flip it up and you start cranking her down. And right now that I know after the first one, I know exactly how much I got to tighten the top bolt against the bottom bolt. I can get it within 10,000, normally within three tries.
That's not bad.
No, and it doesn't take long, and they run fine. Okay, Paul, you in bed
How you doing,
again?
Wayne?
You in bed again?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
look
the
way
only
too
private
comfortable.
place in my house.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got
Yes,
3 kids. I got a
I remember
2-year-old,
last
a
week
5-year-old.
You were laying down last week too.
Yeah, it's because I have to sneak into the bedroom because I have a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an 8-year-old. And the 8-year-old special needs, and we're not sure about the 2-year-old. The 5-year-old, a 5-year-old. So
Yeah, been
Well, we
there.
got a pretty good group. It's we keep it pretty G rated. I don't know if Disney would approve,
much.
but I'm sure it's close.
yeah. I mean, I'm close. You know.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I was just sliding down to reach my foot to the heater.
Oh boy. Oh, in Texas, man, you guys are freezing down there, huh?
Yeah.
It was 32 degrees this morning. That's cold.
Oh, it's cold over
Yeah.
here today.
Yeah, I'm about 15 today.
Yeah, we're
It was
minus
18
today.
earlier.
It was about 19 here this morning.
No.
That's about
Yeah, but
40
Wayne
something.
speaks in Celsius.
So what you up to today, Paul? Or this week?
I'm trying to bounce around and manage what I'm going to work on for our cars. My car's down because of a lower ball joint. It hasn't broke yet, but I don't want to drive it. And then my wife's car had an oil leak, and I can't get the part from Honda because they want you to buy the whole big part instead of just buying the gasket. And then I bought the gaskets from AutoZone yesterday, and I went to go pick them up today, and they're completely wrong. But when I came home, I realized that her rear left side caliper is sticking.
What kind of car is it?
Fun. I just have to debate on whether I want to go OEM or aftermarket on everything.
What kind of car are you running?
Well, her minivan is a 2009 Honda Odyssey EXL. And the gasket I needed was for the spool valve, is what Honda calls it, but it's the VTEC solenoid. They used to sell the gasket. I did my friend's 09 Odyssey 5 years ago, and I bought the gaskets from Honda. I have the part number and the receipt in my files, and I bring it down there, and so I wasted the gas going there. And I'm like, oh, I need to order these for mine. And they're like, nope, we only sell the spool valve now, which comes with the gasket.
Yeah.
And then mine's a 2002 Honda Accord.
Yeah, my little brother always says, because I go for little turbo cars and stuff. He says, yeah, but the turbos will go out. And it's like, they'll go out. What's the big deal?
So replace it.
Yeah, motors go out.
Sounds like selling a spark plug, but it comes with an air filter, a pre-filter, and an ignition coil.
We've got YouTube royalty with us
Brucey
today.
boy.
Whoa.
Hey, Bruce.
Oh, he's got
man.
Bruce is getting the shakes. He's
Hi,
going to
Bruce.
end up back in the cold weather pretty soon.
Yes.
Bruce, I feel for you, buddy.
Yeah, the way I
the
had the
weather's-
screen chopped, I had this up, and I just saw a little corner of you sitting down here. And I said, ooh, I got
Oh,
another
yeah.
person coming up.
Well, yeah, it's warming up at home, but there's still snow on the ground. So,
You must be getting close to flying out.
week and a half.
Oh, still that long?
Yep.
Seems like you've been gone for half a year, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
a quarter of a year.
Yeah, a quarter.
But we're trying to use up all the meat in the freezer that we bought at Costco back in January.
You can have a great neighborhood party on the last couple of days.
Well, and you should see the amount of food swapping going on. You know, like somebody moves out and they've got vegetables. This guy moves out, he's got a couple of beers. This guy moves. So the last guy who moves out let's say on the 15th of April, which is pretty much what goes on, he'll take all of that stuff down to the people that work here. They got a kitchen. The locals that work here have a kitchen, and we just take it down there and put it on the table, and they love it.
Well, yeah, it's with the different income levels and with the different availability of food,
Yeah,
you make their day.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they can't like they live really cheap, but they can't afford to buy anything that comes out of a package. And up in our neck of the woods, everything we buy comes in a package. It's pretty cool.
I just took a lawnmower back to one of my customers. His house was up for sale. I said, "Where are you moving?" He said, "Huntsville." I said, "How's the weather up there?" He said, 3 feet of snow right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a bad moving day.
Yeah, but he's lucky. He's got a cottage, so the house that they're building is on standstill. But at least he can move into his cottage if the house gets sold.
Right. That's 2 residences. That's kind of beyond my thought process. I mean,
Well,
I rent this one.
Yeah, I would think that when he sells this house and then he moves up to Huntsville and the cottage is in the area, he's likely going to sell the cottage because he's there. You know what I mean? He's in the same
Right.
town now. He doesn't need the cottage when he's got the other place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Tim, you need to come up.
Yeah.
I've got some sort of surprising news that you'll find humor in. My wife is always telling me I need to go take a road trip. I need to just go get away and go be myself for a day or two because I'm a caretaker for my mom.
Oh yeah.
And she decided where and when she's going to send me. On June
nice.
2nd, she's sending me to Wales.
No, beautiful.
Ooh.
And that's all I know. She says, you'll find out. You won't remember anyway. Fair enough. I guess tell me on the 2nd. Tell me when to put pants in the suitcase,
Hopefully, there's not a Wales in Texas.
No,
Yeah.
it's in the UK.
Yeah. The will is in at the corner.
I think there's a Paris in Ontario, isn't there?
Yeah,
There is a Paris just right around the corner from here.
Paris,
Yeah.
Ontario. We got a Paris, Ontario.
I've got my mom's little brother lives in Saskatoon. And she says, yeah, you could go stay at Rick's and then go visit your buddies over at Bruce's and Steve's and all that. And I said, hon, do you know how big Canada is?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I said,
one and a half.
I cannot drive from Saskatoon to everybody's house in Vancouver and whatnot in one
2
day.
times. Yeah, that's just 2 time zones away. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but she says, oh,
Hey, Bill.
it's in the middle, so it'll be easy. And it's like, no, not so much,
No.
But the highways are good and straight. You don't have to. Well,
Yeah.
just like the road between Dallas and Fort Worth, right? No curves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
don't fall
there's
asleep.
10 million people on that road every day.
I know.
Like driving through the prairies, right, Bruce? You can see
Yeah.
the dog that's running away for 100 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good joke.
It's pretty true.
Well,
Here,
good for you, Bill.
you get west of Fort Worth, and then the speed limit changes.
Oh,
And
Drops.
no, it goes way up. It's 85.
really?
Yeah, so from there it's like Midland is 2/3 of the way across Texas, and Texas is it's the size of Texas. It's big, and you can get to Midland in about 5 hours because you're going almost 100 miles an hour the whole way.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
I got
there-
a new problem. My next door neighbor wants me to figure out why his electric lawnmower won't work.
Tell them because it's broken.
Because it needs batteries.
I told him it needed gas.
Well,
Did you
Is
jump
it
He
in?
wants me to do a load test. He wants me to do a load test on his battery to make sure his battery's okay. And I'm like, I have small battery stuff. Like I've been playing around. I've been ripping apart laptop batteries and drill pack batteries for years. So I have like I forget what it's called now. What is it? The I can't think of the name. But it doesn't do 40 volts or 80 volts. You know, it's lower voltage. But I mean, I can charge and discharge anything like that for like a little 18650. I mean, I'm good with individual cells, but not the whole pack.
Right.
Bruce, you're the electrician, aren't you?
Well, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
I know.
In an
Well,
earlier life.
Well, you could probably use even a 110 watt or 100 watt light bulb. I mean, just an incandescent bulb, and you'll get a little bit of put your ammeter in series with the light bulb, and you'll see how much current it puts out.
Well, that's true. Now,
Something simple.
it's IMAX B6 charger. Is what I use. I have two of them because I've been charging and discharging 18650s individually, and I can do up to 7 banks or 6 banks on there, and I can, do all that fun stuff with it. But I don't even have I probably have 50 cells. I've been trying to get enough. If I can get 100 used cells around 3,000 or even 2,200 milliamps, I could build a bank to make a battery, and then hook that to my solar charge controller and all that. I want to run a deep freezer that way. That's my goal.
Oh yeah, you
But
put a
I
little
just- I don't
inverter
have
on it, and put an inverter on
an
it.
inverter. Yep.
What's
do
the
an
inverter?
inverter,
What's the
charge
inverter?
controller.
What's the inverter input voltage though? 12, like off of a car, or is it 48?
Yeah, it's 48.
48 volts.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it when you've got 3.8 3.7 nominal. If I can get to 3.2 nominal, then I can go closer, lower the voltage. But that's what
you're-
Lit Pro versus
If you lower the voltage, then you still have to pull the same amount of watts, and your current goes right through the roof.
yeah, and that's just like that. I mean, I don't know how much you know about 18650, but the
Nothing.
standard ones that are very flammable are 3.7 nominal, and then the good ones are 3.2 nominal. That's where you can get closer to that 12 volt or 24 volt doing the 3.2 nominal. All of them take 4.2 volts is their peak, but it's a nightmare. So I have to do the 48 volt for the cheap ones I have.
So it would take quite a few just to put them in series to get to 48 volts.
Correct.
First roofer I ever met that knows about electrical stuff that I haven't got a clue about.
I don't
I
like
know a
that.
little bit, but mine's sort of limited to remote control cars and servos and things.
Well, I think you know a little bit more, Bill.
Mm,
You're
Yeah,
good at 5
Yeah, you
volts.
do,
Eh?
Bill.
yeah, I'm good at 5 volts.
5.2.
Oh, excuse me.
I still test batteries like this.
No, just give me 1 sec, guys.
Yeah,
That's how I test my 9 volts.
Yeah.
Hey, and I didn't know this until like 2 years ago. Did you know a 9 volt battery actually has 4 cells inside of it?
Well, it would have to, yeah, because a battery cell has 1.2 volts.
Yeah.
And that's standard issue. And it's let's call it a hot 1.2. It's 1.2 plus a touch. So in order to get, it's like a car battery. How many cells does a car battery have? It's 12 volts.
6. That's 6 cells. Not
But
10.
it's got, yeah, okay, a car battery's lead acid. Lead acid's got 2 volts. So it would be 2 per.
2 volts. Yeah, and it's 6
Yeah.
cells.
And they charge you 2.2. So I'm
Yeah,
not
they
getting
charge you 2.2.
I'm not getting lunch anymore, you guys.
Oh,
No,
Ah,
I blame him.
you're going to fade away, Bruce. Yeah, Bruce is going to fade away to nothing.
Well,
He's going to end
Trudy,
up back in Canada weighing 125 pounds.
I don't think so. If I come, but I've been doing quite a bit of exercising. That like metal detecting is way more physically demanding than you'd think. So I've been doing
Oh,
that
yeah.
four times a
yeah.
week. And if I got 50 digs in a day, I'm up and down the beach a mile, and I'm doing 50 digs with a shovel. So that's good for me. But the beer is the other side of it. So I'll probably come home even. If I come home under 200, I'll be thrilled.
Nice.
That's
Yeah, the
pounds.
yard
We
shrink's
still
messing
we
up
still
again,
weigh in
guys.
pounds in Canada. We still weigh in pounds, even though measurements are in
Yeah.
metric. You get a better clue in pounds than you
Yeah.
do. If I said to Wayne I'm weighing 81 kilograms, he'd go like, what's that?
I'd
I
say
think
how
we
many
should keep.
stone?
I think we should go metric on everything but
Weights.
pounds. I could go metric.
Yeah.
Temperature metric just isn't specific enough. I can't do.
Oh
C.
God, it's the easiest one on earth. Zero
Yeah.
freezes, boils at 100.
Boils at
Zero,
100. No,
zero.
I understand that.
That,
But
that makes sense.
if it's 109 degrees outside or 112, it's still what, 42?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there's a bigger
Yeah.
gradient,
Yeah,
so
it
there's
doesn't
more.
make
There's more. There's more
It's
F's in.
more precise.
There's more F's inside a C.
Yeah, there's more F's than a C.
So, is
Yeah,
it William over here on my? Let's see, on my left, on my right, with who have we got down in the lower right hand corner down there?
That's with the hat looking up
Yeah,
with the glasses. That's Brock from Lewis Mowers and Boats.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
yeah,
Lewis.
you guys'
They're
names
over
up.
there.
I should know
Bruce's
you,
hat.
but I've been thinking about getting into outboards, but my back's not very good.
Yeah.
Should I consider it?
Oh, it's a bear.
Mhm.
I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'll avoid it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's tough.
it is.
Not only getting parts, getting the
Yeah.
parts is the big problem.
hmm
Yeah, parts is being it's either really cheap and just junk or luck of the draw kind of thing. You
Right.
know?
But there's big money in the labor charges around this area for
Any-
I know.
outboard motors.
Yeah,
Anywhere.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah, but
anything marine.
I mean
is
large.
just-
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. What does
And
the
they're
book
all
say? Yeah.
complaining that the auto technicians around here, I think the automotive shops are around, they're likely around $90 to $100 an hour now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
110
And
here.
You get a good boat mechanic, he's
Yeah.
going to command easy $150 an hour.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. And diesel mechanics are even worse. Like you want a diesel
Oh.
mechanic, you might be paying $250 an hour for a good one.
Yeah,
My
that's my
knee-
background.
My
Yeah,
my
I'm going to need a
niece-
supermodel bikini-clad diesel mechanic for $250 an hour.
you haven't met my niece. She's a 31-year-old licensed heavy-duty mechanic, Red Seal, all 10 provinces and territories.
Beautiful.
That's probably why you still like me, though, because I haven't met your niece.
She won't have any problem getting a job.
And she's got red hair too. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative.
Oh, that's a
Oh, it-
huge positive.
So she's got a job.
Positive.
Bruce, she's got a job. She's working.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, she's got no
we
trouble
really,
there.
we really, her mom and dad moved away to the coast where Steve lives, right? And so we really helped her get through her apprenticeship because there's times when you're apprenticing that you're so broke you can't afford to do
Yeah.
anything, right?
Yeah, never mind.
And just last fall she got her Red Seal and her 2 tickets. So good for her, right?
Very cool.
Canada's
Since she's-
finally getting smart with the apprenticeship programs again and starting to try to push the young kids
They
in
are.
high schools into the trades because
Well, they're making
Canada's
more than
going to
the
fall
yeah,
apart.
they're making
Gonna
more than
fall
the
apart.
business. She's making more money than the business administration grads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, diesel's the new automotive, man. Telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big
So
time.
she says she makes adult money now.
Oh, don't- Sounds
Yeah.
like my daughter.
It makes grown-up money.
Hey,
Yeah, the hair's not red
um,
anymore, but I still haven't convinced her to. Well, it's kind of red. It's kind
Oh.
of pink, but I haven't convinced her to cut it yet. I just sort of keep it back here where people can't see
So
it.
are you gonna join us in Wales, or are you just gonna have a complete excommunication from the nation?
No, I absolutely yes, and I already talked to Simone. I told Simone, I said, yeah, we got to go to lunch and stuff, and I'm going to try to catch a couple of the guys over there while I'm there.
Okay, well, that'd be fun.
So how long are
That's
you
what I
going
figured.
for?
Yeah,
How long are you going for?
I'm going on the 2nd. That's what I know.
But for how much time?
He doesn't know.
Oh, you don't know. So she
I'm
might
not
be
the travel director.
she might be trying to get rid of you for a month, 2, 3.
That
Bill,
might be my
maybe
new
it's a
home, and I
one-way
don't know
ticket.
it.
and you come home, the house might be lived in by somebody else.
Yeah, right.
CK Paul, you escaped to that room for some peace and quiet, and then see what his wife did.
Yeah.
She just wants
Yeah.
some peace and
Oh.
quiet. Ships them to Wales.
Yeah, a one-way ticket.
So after we've been here for 2.5 months, Trudy and I are on a complete different schedule. I just had breakfast. She just came in for lunch.
I don't know, Michael.
So
I know Wales is somewhere in the UK, but remember when you live in Texas, the metroplex I live in is bigger than Connecticut and Rhode Island together. So when I think
yeah.
Wales, I think, yeah, it's just this little city over there.
Yeah.
You
But
know.
Alaska's got you beat, but because it's on the Mercator map, it looks little like Greenland.
Yeah.
Look, Greenland looks a little from the equator, but it's pretty freaking big.
It's pretty giant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You guys-
yeah, and I know they are up the globe, shall we say?
Yeah. I love the term Mercator map because people don't understand that when they're watching the weather, they think that everything's shaped like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, if it
so-
was, it's sort of like. Here's a question I actually had to ask somebody. If you go to Australia and buy a globe, where's Canada at?
Well, I don't know. I think they look at it the
It's
same way
on the
we do.
bottom. You can
On the
buy
bottom.
globes in Australia with Canada on the bottom.
That'd be fun.
Now the normal globe has north on north everywhere,
Yeah.
but you can buy globes down south. You can't buy one here. Well, in Texas, of course, they act like they want Texas to be at the top, and everything
Well,
spins around them.
Texas is automatically the center of the universe. We know that.
The Texans think so, and it's fun to joke around with a Texan and say the way to make Texas the third biggest state, cut Alaska in half.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, guys, I'm gonna jump down and get me some lunch.
Oh,
Um,
Oh, he's
Okay,
mad.
Okay, Dave.
Must be from Texas.
Dave, you got to not talk so much when you're up here.
all right.
Well,
all right.
that's like when Tim comes up. He never says anything either.
No, Tim's quiet. Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
see
I
you
wanted
later,
to tell
Dave.
you.
Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
See you, Dave.
Thanks for being such a.
And you'll see more go kart. I'm pretty sure I'm going to let the next video go on Tuesday. I've got two of them that I'm going back and forth on. Tuesday or Friday will be the whole thing going together.
Did you
All right,
Did you put a bit of gas in the cylinder and yank that cord? I didn't see that on.
I'll
the
see you later,
video.
guys.
See you, Dave.
Oh, to see if it kicks?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It does. Now, actually, I put starter fluid in it when I got it.
Good.
Now, I
So it
got it
goes
for
round and round up.
$10.
So it goes round and round and up and down. That's all you need.
Well, my big concern, and you'll see it soon enough, was I ran into all sorts of headaches trying to get the clutch on the
Oh, I
weed
can't
eater
imagine.
motors,
Mhm.
trying to get this little sprocket on the weed eater motors.
Yeah.
And I did it with a flux welder. And it wasn't, it warped things and all that. It was just all sorts of wonkiness going on. When I did it on the clutch for the chainsaw, it's like bam, 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 done. Because I did it on the nut, on the drive nut.
Yeah.
So I
And
said,
if you had to, you could probably cut it off too.
oh yeah, I could grind it off. I wouldn't want to because I paid $11 for that gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Oh, you welded a gear right on. See, I didn't see that on the video, but you welded a gear right onto the clutch.
It'd be the new
That's
video.
that's a test bit.
Mm.
Like I showed him a picture a minute ago. Let me see if I still got that hanging up somewhere. I've got it test fitted on,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just test fitted on. It's sitting loose right now.
So are you getting a good go-kart following on this little series, Bill?
Not so much, but it's amusing me to no end, and that's got to be worth something.
Yeah, exactly. That looks really good on
As long
there.
as you're having fun, Bill.
Yeah, I've got a 1-inch spacer because you can see it here, right around here.
Yes.
That's the brake, and that's
Okay.
the
Oh.
motor. And they
Right.
they
It's
just
tight.
touch. And so, but I needed a way to bolt the case on. I'm working with a plastic case,
Mm-hmm.
and I came up with a pretty creative way to get the motor bolted on, to bolt the motor to the runner.
Okay.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Well, I'll give that part away. I got
No,
you need this.
We'll watch it.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, technical
I had a
question.
problem of bolting it down hard enough because I can't
See you,
bolt through the
Trudy.
plastic case. But I found a way to
So
bolt the
technical
actual
question.
motor to it without using the welder.
Hey,
Without
does
using the welder
YardStream work
much.
better? Does YardStream work better if I download it?
StreamYard?
Yeah, that's it. StreamYard. Sorry.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I've never done it.
I don't think there's anything to download.
Well, I
Okay.
downloaded to get into the app a while ago. You can go to 3 different levels, I think, on StreamYard. The free and
Okay.
then something else and another one. I
Yeah.
just had the free one, and then
I like the
but-
F word. I like the F word
but I
myself.
think the other day I was lagging
Yeah.
by 3 seconds for my voice, so I had
Oh.
to reload and re-enter the live stream, and then it was good after that.
Yeah, it's been
Oh.
messing up for 2 days for me here.
You got that?
Yeah, Michael suggested that. It's actually the little center pin that holds the clutch onto the flywheel, clutch onto the motor, basically,
Mm-hmm.
is a perfect spacer to drop the gear on.
Mm.
It just misses all the way around. So there's a little bit of Ouijian to get it centered up a little bit, and then it went, bzz, bzz, and then looked at it and spun the clutch and went, okay, looks round enough. Beep 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 all the way around.
So it could have a little bit of a wobble, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's only 12,000 RPM, so I'm not worried.
But yeah, the eyeball is a very good
Oh,
micrometer. You know.
The eyeball.
I'm not sure about that, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, especially when you get older, it works
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah. With that one
Yeah,
eye,
it's-
with the no, you got the one eye that's got the new cataract in it, and then you can use that.
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
reason
about
why-
right.
Right?
Now,
That's the
mind you,
reason-
and you're holding it with the ground clamp while you're doing it. You know.
Yeah, that's the reason why I look up, because I'm trying out these. I graduated to bifocals.
No, I did that
Yeah, me too.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
No
I
lies.
figured you guys were wearing
Bifocals
those just to
are
look
fine.
distinguished.
Yeah.
No.
It's a little bit to get used to.
Tim says he's taking all the information in from us guys, so he'll be okay on the next live stream, Bruce.
Okay.
So I have to ask, does anybody have those old 18 volt, what is it, nickel metal hydride batteries on a drill or anything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably someplace, yeah.
I got one that just died.
So, yeah, well, I got one little trick for you to try to revive it. Hit it with a TIG.
A what?
Yeah, that's why I hear. Kind of wakes it up.
Any kind of welder on
Yeah.
low, of course, and outside. We're
Low.
PPE. But no, I'm serious. I actually just did it at my buddy's auto body shop. He has these 18 volt.
So you're saying put the ground strap on one end and touch it with the other end?
Yeah, that's what he did. That's what we did. We put the ground strap on the negative, and then we did the positive. We just hit it with the.
Well, yeah, you
Yeah.
got to say
But-
clear first.
But what's the polarity on the welder? Because if it was minus, you're going to be a 90 volts difference.
Yeah.
Well, no, you want that. You want what you're doing is you're frying the hairs off the anode and the cathode side of the wrap inside the cell,
Okay.
and that rejuvenates. That's what destroys your cell. It makes it not work. Is those little hairs that go on the outside of the wrap of the battery inside the cell. If you give it too much voltage, it fries those little hairs that are connecting them, which is basically shorting it out internally. So if you can fry those, it rejuvenates the cell. Now, I mean, my buddy's got it's a special light it's actually UV light, so you can see the exact color of a car. And it's this old 18 volt thing, but the unit costs like $600-700, the light. So he's like, I don't want to buy another battery. A battery's like $300. I might as well buy a whole new unit and be lithium and so on. And I'm like, well, dude, just throw it on the TIG. And sure enough, he did that, and the thing took a charge. And
So what's the polarity on the welder?
I don't.
That would bother
I
me.
told them to turn it down to the lowest. I have no idea what I've never
So you
used a
don't blow
welder
the
in my life.
battery up.
Well, you know what though? That's my old saying, right? You guys, if it's broken, you can't break it.
You
Yeah.
can't break it more.
Can't re-break
That's
it.
been the story. That's how I work all day long.
Well,
My
my
wife said-
18,
Well, and
my
True-
18
true. Here's the
volt
thing, I mean,
batteries are guaranteed for life through Rigid. So I don't care if they go dead. I just take them back to the shop and they'll send me upgrades. And if they change the batteries and I don't have anything to fit, they give me brand new tools too. But we don't use them a lot because Jake's got the Milwaukee line now. But the
Mhm.
Rigids, like the drill, is being used all the time to clean up stuff with wire wheels on it and everything.
Yeah, right.
Now, I would not recommend it with lithium. Not at all.
No.
I'm just talking the nickel metal hydride batteries, the old school stuff, like
Yeah.
the old
Mhm.
Makitas with the prongs on the outer side, and it's a big, huge block.
The
You know,
brick.
Makita
any of
with-
those old
The
cells.
brick.
The Makita with the long skinny handle.
Oh yeah, those ridiculous things. Yep.
But they lasted
battery
for
under your left arm.
they lasted 10 years, guys. Those things lasted a
Yeah.
long time. And I used one
Yeah,
every
no,
day.
they did.
You know,
But back
I
then, you
know
had
that-
to make sure you discharged it right to the end. But nowadays, you don't have to worry so much about
Yeah.
discharging it with the new batteries.
And
I
well,
know
and they
people
say
give me
that's a
all sorts of
myth, Bruce.
aggravation for it, but my Milwaukee, I've got a full Milwaukee set, and I like to run the small 12-volt batteries in mine, just because they're not so clumsy. I don't bang them around as much. And I bought 2 Chinese batteries, the cheapo replacement batteries for them.
Aftermarket, yeah.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Still working.
They're still working.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I've
I
heard
paid $19 for 2 of them.
Yeah, I heard
You know-
that a
you know
lot of
those-
people are doing that.
I got 6 drills up on my shelf. 3 of them are the DeWalt impacts, and 3 of them are those Kawasaki, pretty good ones. Kawasaki just drills, just regular drills. And one of those batteries died, and they're a 18 volt. But
Yeah,
I have
didn't
just
know-
I have abused those things. Like, I'm out in a rainstorm working on gutters, putting in screws, and
Oh, yeah.
they just keep coming back. They just keep coming back.
I bought
Well,
my Milwaukee little Sawzall, the little 12-volt Sawzall, to work on sprinklers. Because it made
Oh,
me
yeah.
a little nervous using 110 volts working in a wet sprinkler system, or a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
To cut the PVC,
Yeah.
you can get a little hacksaw and go,
Yeah.
or you can not wear yourself out and just hold the little blade down there and squeeze the trigger.
Yeah.
And so I bought it just because I've got like 92 sprinkler heads, something like that. And when
Wow.
you got 9 or 10 zones and all those heads, things are going to be broken every other week. There's
Every
always
year,
something to fix. And I just got tired of digging holes deep enough to get a hacksaw in there. So I went and bought that. And I think that's what happened to my first 2 batteries, was because it was pretty soaking wet when I ran it quite often and covered in mud.
Yeah. Well, I've got a double set of those moon ray lights all the way around my yard. I got a pretty good sized yard. And at night, they're really pretty and they all come on at the same time. That's what I like about them. But now they're over 20 years old and the heads are starting to fall apart. And if I get my act together on eBay, I think I can get another set.
Yeah.
Solar operated.
No, they run off a transformer on a timer.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh.
9 volt AC. It's just a little step down transformer.
Now we could
And
live
I-
vicariously and ask Bruce what he did this week.
What did I do? Oh, I found some more junk on the beach.
So did you stop doing metal detecting videos completely?
God, I don't get any views.
You get 1,
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch them.
you get 2,
I got my usual 420 that would
you
watch.
get 3.
If
Yeah,
I went to a dog fight, they would watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
And you could probably find a dog fight down there.
Yeah, you might be able to.
Well, if I also.
Well, when I'm on the StreamYard, so I can't see the chat unless I click on that, and then I can't see you guys. But every time I'm in another chat, like Ken's Repair or whatever, I always ask for everybody's YouTube channel. And a lot of times they just are like, oh, just Google my name or just type in my name. And it's like, it's so
Yeah.
much easier just to hit the button and then hit subscribe. So
Yeah.
I'm probably not subscribed to half of you because
I haven't got a clue how to do it. I'd have to get Jake to put it up because I ain't got a clue about that stuff. And I don't want to know because the more I know, the more I got to do.
That's true.
Well, of course, I'm subscribed to all you guys, so talk amongst yourselves. I'll put
That's
links
why
up
I
for
say
you.
to Jake, don't teach me any of that stuff. I don't want to know.
Now I'm going to have to look at the chat and I won't be able to see you.
Yeah, I just recently hooked up with a husband and wife team that do those storage units, and
Yeah.
they have a whole yard full of equipment that they just get from those storage units. And the guy really doesn't know too much, you know. So, yeah, I just met with them 2 days ago, and a lot of vintage lawnmowers, riding mowers. You know, it's really cool stuff. I cannot believe how much stuff they had.
And you should be able to get it at a good price.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
and what's vintage to you could be new to Wayne and I.
yeah.
Well,
No,
you
it was
know,
like Sears,
yeah.
Sears,
Yeah.
and
Still, I can't do it.
what is that other
No.
boxy one with the?
StreamYard.
Craftsman, the old MTDs.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Kohlers.
Snappers, some of the
Yeah.
old Snappers.
And that other one,
Mastercraft.
Tecumseh.
Wheel Horse.
Wheel
Wheel
horse.
Horse, Toro Wheel
Yeah.
Horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really old stuff. I mean, chainsaws that are just all cast,
Yeah.
you know, and things like that. Pretty cool.
But some of the vintage stuff you see, if the people took care of it and maintained it and kept it
Mhm.
inside, man, I've seen some nice, like I think Jake, I think one of his upcoming videos is on an old rider that, I mean, it looks like it's new.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And look at some of that stuff Gravely Man works on, 1956, 1961.
yeah.
Like, not
Yeah.
really, like it's faded. He hasn't repainted them, but like, I mean, they're in
I
nice
couldn't
shape
believe- Yeah, I
for
couldn't
the
believe-
age.
I'm not a patina guy. I'm painting my 68 Homelight 1020.
I know. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think I might restore one of those just completely. You know.
A total restore.
Mm-hmm.
that's actually is. I really have a hard time with the term restore because even what I did with that chainsaw is a
Restoration.
no,
We lost
yeah.
Wayne.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm going to do. I'm going to do restoration. I'm not going
It's
to
a,
do like
it's a recovery. It's a well done recovery. A full restore is pretty expensive.
yeah. It
Well,
is.
basically, yeah, a full restore would be tearing it completely down, going over everything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
measuring out like piston, ring slap, and everything like that, making it all back to right original.
Yeah.
And like think about the problems you've had about getting an original seat covering or something. Like it's all
Mhm.
a true restore, like on the classic cars. You know, you got to have the original carpeting in there. If it's vinyl, the original vinyl, like a replacement that's got the same coloring and everything.
Yep.
Even
Even
those piston
Even a
rings are
gear,
hard to find.
a gear shifter that's not quite right, you lose
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah, those piston rings sometimes are hard to find too. Original.
Yeah.
You know, especially Tecumseh. It's getting hard to find.
Yeah. Well, they went down in 2008.
Yeah. That's my favorite motor though. Tecumseh.
Oh,
Well, you come
I
onto
hate
the,
that primer bulb.
you know,
I hate that primer bulb.
there's a few tricks right inside the carburetor that might not be quite right if your primer bulb's not sealing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about how they harden up so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they still work.
I put glycerin on the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should
Mhm.
loosen them up a little.
Yeah.
I do.
Some Vicks Vapor Rub, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put glycerin all over my truck's air door seals.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. That's an old trick. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
Bruce
still
is
playing
old
around
like
with
me.
that.
We're so.
I still got that old red Craftsman that turned pink in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've got a couple of things on it now in different spots. and I'm leaving it out there, but it's not hot yet, so I won't know for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because when summer comes, it comes. It's fastball, it's fast pitch, it's overhand, and you don't want to crowd the plate. It gets
No.
hot, you know.
Well, I had a Toro wheel horse that was pink. It was so faded. I shot it with some automotive clear coat, just a spray can, a rattle can.
Yeah.
Came right back to almost original. It looked like it just like sucked it just shined like crazy.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping to like polish it off somehow. I was
Mhm.
thinking about taking it to a buffer wheel and seeing if I could polish the cover down.
Would you like
I
it to
don't
be-
know if that would bring
That's
the color back.
risky.
Do
Yeah.
you want it to go back to silver, like metal?
Well, no, it's red plastic.
Yeah.
It's pink plastic on the outside.
You want to go back to black?
Whatever. Sorry.
Like if you heat them with the heat gun, but you gotta watch.
You gotta
It
watch,
gets
yeah.
splotchy. But you can bring back plastic color by heating it too.
I did that on my old
Your chairs.
my lawnmowers and my chairs.
Saw the video.
Yeah.
Saw the video on that one, Bruce. Good
Trudy
video.
and I had fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was right before the metal detecting.
Yeah. I think it was probably the last video you guys saw before I came down here.
So how many people realize that, when you're sitting in your shop like last week?
Yeah.
You know,
that I'm
middle of the
home,
week.
that I'm not there.
Yeah.
There's
Where were you?
there's a few that could be watching now.
I thought you were back.
Yeah.
I lost track of time. Bruce, I have a hard time remembering if it's Monday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's
There's
the
a few-
retired life.
Jim from Not Too Fast for You to See, he thought I was home. You know that channel? Have you heard of that channel?
I haven't
What
heard of that.
What a great
No.
name, eh? Not NOT
Not.
2 FAST 4 U 2 C. Good name, eh?
Yeah.
Sounds like a license plate when you're a teenager.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. So Wayne, when I first came into the stream, you were mentioning something about a shaft bender,
A what?
a way to bend a shaft back straight.
Bend the shaft back.
The
straight.
mower shaft. Your
Crank
mower shaft
shaft.
straightener.
Oh, right, with the crankshaft straightener.
Great shot, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just use AC 205 reseal.
No, to
A
straighten it, I used to straighten them with. I've got a 4-pound sledge that I actually forged at our Ford shop back in the day, and I used to put a hardened sleeve over top of the crankshaft. I'd hit it, and then I'd dial indicate it to see how close I would get. But I would spend like a half hour to 45 minutes to get it to the point where I had it close enough that I wouldn't get vibration. So I think it took me 4 years to convince Jake to let me buy this crankshaft straightener, which just bolts to a little wooden table I've got on wheels. And you flip it up, you bolt your engine to it, you flip it up, you tighten I think it's like a 3/4 inch bolt on the bottom, and then a great big bolt that's on the top. I forget what is. It's got to be like 1.25 inches on the top. Is just past that, so you're actually creating a fulcrum point that you're creating the bend on.
Good.
So you're not bending it inside the
You're not
oil
bending
seal area. You're working
not-
on it on the outside.
You're not bending
yeah.
the output bearing.
Yeah, and the thing actually has a little tiny dial that's built into it, so that you can watch how much you're moving the crankshaft as you tighten up the bolt. And
That's amazing.
just by looking at how much you move it, like I put my dial indicator to it to get an idea about how many divisions do I have to move it on the indicator that's on the piece of equipment for me to generate, say, 30 thousandths or 40 thousandths of movement. So now I know how much I got to do and how hard I got to crank it down. And like I said, now I got it down to 5 to 7 minutes that I can do one.
Right.
Man.
That's amazing.
So you
Yeah.
take
And
it
I've
past
had-
you
I've
take it
sold-
past 25 thousandths and it bounces back.
Yeah, you got to go
Yeah,
past.
it'll bounce.
Yeah.
back.
So, anyways, I put an ad on Kijiji. I could straighten your crankshaft. If anybody's out there got a bent crankshaft, I said I'll straighten it if you want to pay me, or I'll buy it from you. But if I'm
Yeah.
buying it from you, I got to be able to pull it over, and I'll give them $5 for it.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
just
exactly.
in that $5, I pick up an OEM carburetor that's worth like $85, right? I
Yeah.
pick up an air filter housing, like even just the cover could be 35 or $45 over here in Canada.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I found the Hondas are really, really hard to bend back, but the old Briggs and the Tecumsehs and the Kohlers aren't so bad.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
thing won't
me
work
too.
on short shafts. It has to be, I think it's got to be a minimum of 3¼ inches long
Okay.
in order for it to work. If it's shorter than that, you can't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, are you frozen or are you just reading?
No, I'm
You're
sorry.
just reading.
Making deals.
No,
I
and
got- I've got, like I said, I can't get my hands on a riding lawnmower or a blower to save my life. And I've got a guy that says, I had 2 people in the last 10 minutes have offered me riding lawnmowers. I need regular lawnmowers. I've got one and it's a commercial.
wow.
Okay,
You
fellas,
know,
gotta go.
Okay, Brock. Take
Yeah,
care,
I'm
buddy.
gonna be heading out too.
Yeah, we're gonna have perch dinner tonight. So
You're killing me now.
so,
Lake
Bye-bye.
Lake Erie yellow perch.
yep.
Yeah, can't get any better than that, buddy.
No, sir.
So
Thank
yes,
you,
Tim.
guys.
Tim,
Take care,
Steve,
bud.
Steve-O's
Appreciate
got Steve-O's got 30 subs to go.
30.
Tim Palmer.
Yeah,
just
I
went.
thought I saw 971. I looked a little while ago.
He was
Okay.
968 yesterday when I
Nine. I just looked at 970 right
yeah,
now.
I was the 968.
You were 968. Good.
Yeah, when I clicked it, it said 968. When
Yeah, and I
clicked it,
talked to
so-
Chubby, and Chubby, he even forgot. He says, "Oh yeah, I'm subscribed." I says, "Buddy, I'm subscribed to so many channels. When I scroll down on my list, it
Yeah.
takes me forever to find somebody to hit on it. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
better
a
off
search
just to
where I can
hit.
just type in something.
You
yeah,
know,
you're better off just to
I
hit it
actually
and type
don't-
in.
I don't ring the bell. I have to confess, I'll on something like that. If I don't know the guy that well, I'll subscribe, but I won't ring the bell.
Well, no, you can't. Otherwise, it's ringing all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Like I gotta have. I'm likely sub to 400 channels or something
me
like
too.
that.
Oh, me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
haven't even got a clue how many. It's a lot.
Once in a while, I'll
I'm
go
right
and
there with you.
once in a while I'll go and purge, 15 or 20 out just to clean house a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I do
some of
car
these guys are.
racing channels.
Oh yeah, right. Some of these guys are dead. Like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. There are people that haven't put up a video for over a year.
or more.
I think Stella just put one up. Not to say she's dead, Bruce. Just,
No, she did an
I
old.
think she got
9.5.
just in case she's listening. I think she got off the Guinness and she did a video. I watched it today.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a new video.
on an old.
But she's been
lawnmower.
working.
Did she whittle that 9.5 piece of wood?
I don't know.
She's a good mechanic.
Yeah.
I gotta watch her videos. I haven't seen anything from her.
Yeah, she's good.
Anyway, I'm
you
gonna
gotta
pop
watch.
away, you guys.
You're going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I gotta.
Okay, Bruce. Take care, buddy.
I've been on the computer since I got up, and
See
I'm
you
in
back in
Mexico. What the hell
Alberta.
is that? Yeah, we'll be back
See
in
you
about a
back
week.
in
and a half.
Alberta. Yeah, K-Paul, you got to watch the one she did on. I think she did one. She called it "The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly." That one was great. Like it was. She dressed it up. She dressed up like Clint Eastwood, in the movie, and it was.
Yeah.
I think it was about a Honda lawnmower. The good, the bad, and the ugly parts of this lawnmower. It was a good video.
Yeah, I mean, I love Honda lawnmowers too, but I don't like working on them.
See, now I like the Quantum motor better than any other.
Oh, and
Or
that's
no.
what I was going to say earlier. The Quantum motor, I have gotten so many free Quantum engines with the decks are rotted out, and I rip out the cam gear out of the Quantum motor and sell them on eBay.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People buy those up like nothing. I got a motor that's smoking or the shaft's bent or whatever. They buy that cam gear.
Yeah.
That's the number one seller on eBay.
Yeah. Henry at Mowers and Blowers. He sells a lot of parts from his engines. Makes a small fortune on it.
Yeah.
I
mean,
guess
go-
I'm motivated
I'm-
wrong. I don't really try to make a bunch of money doing it.
But he's got all these scrap engines, and that he's getting for nothing. So the money's just sitting there, and if he puts it out in the scrap, it's really, if he scraps it, he's not getting a lot of value for it. He's tearing apart anyways to see if he can fix it, and then he's using certain parts off of it to fix another one that he's got. So he's left over with all these parts without a lot of room to store it. So he puts it on eBay at a decent price, and it's a good part. And he makes good money on it.
Yeah, those because the cam gear is actually plastic on a metal shaft, and it jumps on the shaft. Very, very easy. I mean, if you hit a rock just right, the cam gear is toast.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a if I remember right, and I haven't done it in about a year and a half, but if I remember right, the gear has the tooth. What is it called? It's molded in,
Yes.
so it hits that little ridge that's in the shaft.
Yeah.
And once that snaps, I mean, it's no good. So, and I only came across that because a friend of mine was like, "Oh yeah, you can sell the cam gear out of that." Because I was just going to scrap it because somebody left it on the side of the road and thing wouldn't start, and I was like, I ripped it apart to see if I could fix it, and nope, sure enough, it had a bent valve. But
well, if you look at that video Jake did on him redoing that snowblower, where he broke down all his costs for buying the engines and the snowblowers and the frames, and then he rebuilt. He didn't rebuild, but he kind of updated. I think took a 1450 Briggs & Stratton Snow Series engine, took the parts off it to upgrade a 1350 Briggs & Stratton, put it on a snowblower, made 550 some odd dollars off of profit, off of selling the parts and the frames and the tires and everything off the stuff he had bought. So he's already up 550. And then voila, at the end of the video, plus I got a free snowblower. So here's this snowblower. It's got a 1350 series snow, but it's mint. Like everything's redone on it. And he's got a free snowblower. And if he wanted to sell that snowblower, I'm going to guess it looks that good. He could likely get $1,000 for it. Huh. He's basically, he's made $1,550.
Snowblowers are that expensive?
What's that? Snowblowers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, snowblowers. Like you're paying $2,000 with that tax included for a good snowblower.
See, now I didn't know that. When I lived in Indiana, I had I guess an MTD riding mower then, and I got chains for it.
Yeah.
And put one of the blades on it. The blade that you can turn like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could operate it while sitting on the mower.
Yeah. Yeah, those blades right now, they're likely, I'm going to guess that package with the kit to mount it to a riding mower, you're likely looking at $400 plus tax for that.
I don't remember what I paid for it, but it was 20 odd years ago. And now, mind you, in Texas, I brought it with me to Texas. So, I'm going to need that snow blade here, right? And then I forgot about it and left it in the shed when I moved. I got the mower, but I didn't get the blade or the chains.
Oh,
I thought about it, and it's like, what are the odds that I'm going to have to plow my driveway here?
I think we took a snow plow blade like you're talking about in on a trade for a lawnmower, a push lawnmower that we had. So basically, like maybe we had $50 into this blade, and we had somebody get in touch with us and said, I'll trade you a riding mower for that blade. So we drove to Fort Erie, which is maybe, 20 miles away, went and looked at this lawnmower, and Jake did a video on it. It was a Craftsman, I forget. The back end of it, you could put a box on it. It wasn't a tipper or nothing, but you could haul stuff in it too. But it's an old Craftsman, 30-inch blade on it. And we fixed that up and sold it to our neighbor 2 houses over. And I think that's 9 years ago when Jake started. And that little thing is still out there running, still cutting. And the guy's got straight pipes on it, and he rigged up something that he could pin. Listen, he's got that governor pinned, so it's running. It should blow up the engine. It's only got an 8 horse on it. He's got it pinned so he can go faster, so it's over revving. And that engine won't blow up, but it's an old Briggs 8 horse.
You tell him you go faster with a slightly bigger tire, not by making the motor rev faster.
Yeah.
Oh,
no
this
kidding.
thing, and you could hear it when he fires it up, eh? But I mean, it's 9 years old, and I think we sold him that for $250 because he was
Wow.
a neighbor, and like it had all new belts on it and everything. As a matter of fact, I don't even think at that time there was a video on installing a belt on that Craftsman mower, and he got all these comments. Man, I've been waiting. I got this machine, and I never knew how to put belts on. I couldn't get any information. And
Okay.
It's funny because my neighbors, they kind of know me just because I pretty much mow my lawn with a different mower every week.
yeah,
And and I love the Quantums because I put a adjustable wrench on the frame there, and I just pull it out, let it rev nice and high. And honestly, 90% of the Quantum mowers that I've had people like, oh, this thing is just underpowered, I need a new mower, blah blah blah, and I work on it. I put a new needle and seat in, which is no big deal. And then come to find out, it was under revving the whole time.
Yeah.
So I kicked the rev up, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is like runs amazing."
Bend
I'm
the
like,
tab just a bit.
yeah.
You just bend the tab a little bit, and it's amazing how something so simple. I wouldn't even have had to change the needle and seat, but I mean, I might as well because that's what they wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think the carburetor needed to be rebuilt, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And I'm like, man, the thing is running at so low a RPM. My Honda one that I blew up last summer, I ran it out of oil. That thing was revving like my neighbors were like, man, that thing's gonna blow its top. Like,
Yeah.
and
Sorry, he ran it out of oil. I had to get rid of him.
Oh,
You ran it out of oil. I had to let you go.
oh, burn! I did. I was working on that kid's 4-stroke weed eater.
you forgot to put oil in it?
I forgot to put oil on my own lawnmower. 'Cause
Yeah,
obviously, as a mechanic goes, you run the piece of junk that you have.
yeah.
And I ran my mower out of oil because I was working on somebody else's stuff, thinking about his stuff
Yeah.
in between the kids and wife and all that stuff, that normal life. And yeah, I
The
ran my
rule
own
here-
mower out of oil.
The rule here is because there's me and Jake, and we might not be working at the same time in the shop. We got to tag it. When we take the oil out, it's got a tag that goes on the machine right on the handle, says no oil. Because it's so
I run
easy
on,
for
I
me
run
to
on the
go
rule. I
out
don't
there.
take oil out until I'm ready to put oil in.
No,
I'm with
like,
Bill
we
on
take
this
it out
one.
when we're
Yeah.
flipping
Same,
it over.
exactly
that,
same,
Bill.
Bill. You drain it, you fill it up straight away.
Yeah.
That way you can't. It's like when I used to be a mechanic years and years ago. Exactly the same. You've got a lorry. You drain oil out in it. You put it straight back in.
Yeah, but I'm draining the oil out and flipping on its side to pull the blade off and scrape the bottom of the deck, and then I undercoat.
Oh, no,
everything.
but
It's
I know
better
what
to
you're
do
saying.
without oil in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. If
Yeah, I
it's
know
a
what you're saying.
car-
But what I'm saying is, once you turn it back on, you put it back in.
Oh yeah.
You don't leave. You
Yeah,
don't
once
like
the
leave it.
bottom
Think, I'll
end's
come
done,
back
the
to that
oil
tomorrow.
goes in.
Oh no, it wasn't an oil change that I forgot to put oil in it.
It just ran out of oil.
I just ran it out of oil.
Yeah, but I don't
Well, it
know.
must have been a smoker.
Yeah, it
20 a
But now-
day.
the thing.
Yeah,
It's-
during
it's-
a season, a mower will go through about 1.5 or 2 ounces of oil.
And what's that in
Oh, no.
milliliters?
This thing's 18 years old.
Ounce and a half.
It's a 2002, but it's got the caster wheels in the front and it's self-propelled, and the thing works like a charm. It was given to me when I bought my house from my dad's friend, and honestly, it's got a Honda clone on it. It might have a Honda motor, but everything was changed on the casing of it, so I think it's a Honda clone. But it smoked. I didn't care. I just always kept adding. What is it? The Lucas.
Yeah.
I just keep adding Lucas when it gets low. So it's just
Yeah.
thicker and thicker and thicker. And then every spring I just drain it out and I put new oil in and I add Lucas, but I add 1/4 of a quart of Lucas to a quart of 1030. And that's just what it requires is 1030. And
A quart?
It's about a quart, yeah.
In what motor?
I'm not sure. I can go out there. It's less than a quart. I'm saying I that's how I measure. I use a quart jug and I put 1/4 of Lucas in and then I fill it all the way up to the
Oh
top
yeah, and then
line
use that.
and then shake it up so it's easier
Yeah.
to pour.
And then
Yeah.
you use
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't take
Gotcha.
a full quart.
Yeah,
It's like
because what are the
3/4 or
quantums
just
take?
under 3/4.
What are the quantums
Yeah.
take? 20 to 24 ounces?
16.
16?
Yeah.
Yeah, the quantums are low.
Half a quart.
Yeah.
Half a quart straight up.
I
Or
just did
200
a 6 point,
milliliters if you prefer.
I just did a 6.75 and I think it had 20 on the dipstick.
Wow.
I'm not
Because
going
the
to say that's
quantums take very
impossible
little.
by
Yeah.
any means because it's possible, definitely.
But you know, one
I
of the
don't-
biggest problems that people encounter that they don't do, I was surprised. Not a lot of people in their servicing tighten up head bolts. If you see any mower
Oh my-
that we've done at Eliminator, every time one goes out of here, it's got paint marking. Whether like if the machine's black and yellow, we use yellow paint dabs. If it's red, we use a red paint dab, just so it kind of match. But you look at the head bolts. And so when we get it back in a year, 2, 3 years, we know when we went, how long it is. We know that back then we torqued those head bolts down every time, guaranteed 3 are loose on the muffler side.
Even
And
after you torque them.
I just
Oh,
did
yeah.
one yet.
Oh yeah.
Just did one yesterday. Out of 8 head bolts, 7 were loose, and it was leaking oil, but it didn't look like it was leaking bad. But you could see that on the self-propelled cover, there was an oil leak from the head gasket. It hadn't blown it because I fired it up and they let it run a half hour and there's no oil leaks now.
Mhm.
It won't blow it if
Husqvarna.
it's leaking because it's loosened off.
I've found more loose heads on a Husqvarna than any other brand ever.
On what engine on the Husqvarna?
I don't know. My 3 of my neighbors have Husqvarnas and my stepfather-in-law.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, my mower won't run right." So I go over there and I go to pull it and I see a gas bubble, and I'm like, and so his head bolts were completely loose.
Yeah.
And he had a Husqvarna, and one of my neighbors was, when we first moved in, he had issues with it too. I rebuilt the carb, put a new spark plug in, so on and so on, and I did the same thing, Wayne. I didn't even check the head bolts. And
Yeah.
sure enough, I checked my stepfather-in-law's, and his head bolts were loose. And I was like, oh, my neighbor is having that problem with the mower. It ran better, but it wasn't running perfect. And I was like, oh, and I called my neighbor, and sure enough, I went down there. One was completely like rattling out.
Yeah, same thing with we'll pull the engine covers off to make sure that there's no debris inside so
Yeah.
we can
Yep.
blow out all the cooling fins, especially like if there's oil leakage from loose head bolts, then you got oil in there and it attracts the grass, it just sticks in there, so we blow that out. And then the other big thing is tighten down the 2 screws that hold that intake tube in. Hardly anybody talks about the intake tubes and how many of them are sucking air, and that's why your carb's not running so good, because you're taking in air into the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And like, as a matter of fact, Turning Wrench is 85. I just commented on his video. He just did one with that plastic carb on the Briggs & Stratton engine.
Yeah, it's
and
got
it's
the little
hunting
rubber
like
gasket.
crazy. Yeah, and I
Rubber.
said and he said he's cleaned out all the jets. I said they're so tiny on those plastic carbs, the jets.
450 and
If
that.
he didn't get it cleaned out totally, it could be hunting because of that, or the intake tube might be loose.
But that's true, and I actually see it occasionally where I'll get it now, and I'll buy a mower, and it'll have a brand new carburetor on it, and that brand new carburetor didn't work, and I'll pull it out, and there's no O-ring in it,
Yeah, right.
or the O-ring is just beat to death. It's all cracked, and
He
yeah,
put
I've
it
got
in.
one video somewhere where he actually plastic carburetor put a brand new carburetor on and it wouldn't run, and I looked at it, and it's sort of funny because I took the cover off. and I didn't see it. And then when I came back to it, it was obvious. He put the linkage on backwards.
Oh,
Hey guys.
Hey, Simone, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm just doing some editing while I'm uploading. While the software's processing, I thought I'd pop in and say hello.
we're all finding it hard to believe that Bill's wife is sending him to Wales to see you.
Yeah.
This is
I'm-
the most unbelievable thing we've ever heard of.
But I'm not quite in Wales. I'm a couple of hours away from Wales, but
Well, he
You said
says he's
when I did
taking you
promise
out for
lunch, didn't
dinner.
I?
He said
Where
he's
you from,
taking you out
Simone?
for dinner.
sorry.
He said
Whereabouts
he's
you from?
taking you out for dinner.
Yeah. I've got to try some Cornish cuisine.
Cornish cuisine. What's
Well,
Cornish cuisine?
Well, I
This is
grew
going to
up
sound
in.
terrible, but nobody goes to England for the food.
Oh, I hear it's really good.
Well, depends what you want to eat, really.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Cornwall, but I'm not from there. But the typical Cornish food is a pasty,
Oh, yeah?
Cornish pasty.
See,
Yeah.
I would have never thought of that. I would have
No?
thought it would have been like a special stew or beef and kidney pie or something like that.
No, you something like a kidney pie. You're talking northern England,
Oh, okay.
I think. I could
I
be
could
wrong.
Are you
almost do
talking
without
more
that
my area?
entirely.
My area, Simone, Yorkshire.
Yeah.
More a bit up here.
See, where I'm from, Somerset, that's cider. That's the
Yep.
cuisine of Somerset. It's cider. But Devon, that's where I live at the moment. I don't know what the cuisine of Devon is.
Is the cider alcoholic?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh, but now I was going to say if it's like 40 proof or better, then
Oh,
that's
sorry, I
probably
thought-
the local cuisine because they get enough
Sorry.
of it and they really don't want to
No.
bother.
So I thought you were talking about Devon then. No,
Oh.
cider is alcoholic, but the best cider to drink is not the carbonated stuff. So the proper cider is completely flat.
And no alcohol in it or alcohol?
Oh yeah, no,
It's a bit
it is.
like-
It's
It's a bit
Oh,
like
yeah,
what you
that's
call in your country. A bit like turbo cider, but flat.
yeah, cider is alcoholic.
Yeah.
And if you get the what we used to call scrumpy, my grandfather made scrumpy, and the stuff was lethal. It would get you drunk without you realizing it.
Oh.
Now, did he make the scrumpy in a whiskey barrel?
I don't remember. I was too young.
Because
I don't
over here,
remember.
that's what we call screech, where you
Ah.
you buy a whiskey barrel and you fill it with water, hot water, and then
Okay.
you seal it. You keep rolling it around.
Oh,
And if you're the first one to get that whiskey barrel, then you're going to get 40%
wow.
alcohol in your water. And then you can wash that barrel so many times, then you can resell that barrel to people, but they'll get less alcohol in it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't remember. The last time I drank scrumpy must have been at least 12 years ago.
Aren't those barrels like 50 gallons?
Yeah. Yeah, big barrels.
That's a lot of 40 proof water.
Yeah, well, you fill
I
it.
thought it
I
was
think it's
45.
half filled with water, and you keep rolling it.
250 litres.
Yeah, you get a lot of booze out of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
I thought they were 45.
It's a good weekend.
but
Hey,
Yeah,
Tommy.
it could be 45 gallon barrels.
Either way, I mean, that's close enough.
There's big money
Yeah.
in barrels. Like there's a guy locally, not that far away from Niagara on the Lake. He actually fire cures. The Japanese are sending their barrels here to Niagara on the Lake. So shipping by boat, then by truck to his shop. He takes them apart and reburns them and puts the charcoal back into them, whatever they do. Like he cleans them and then he reburns them, puts them all back together and ships them back to Japan. And he's
Yeah,
going
it's
nonstop. He can't take any more work than he's getting.
And do you know what they
Yeah,
do
I mean,
over
they're
here,
just-
Wayne?
They're just charring.
Wayne,
They
do
do.
Just charring the
Hey, where's-
inside of it.
you know
Yeah,
what they
it
do over
is
here,
that.
Wayne? Cut them in half and put plants in them.
The what?
Cut whiskey barrels in half,
Yeah.
turn them upside down, put plants in them.
Yeah, planted for the garden.
That's
They're
what they do
That's,
over
that's
here.
what's all through our town.
Adam, you would do fine in Texas.
Why?
You would do fine.
I've started getting flowers coming up in my garden, thankfully.
So, Bruce, you made it back.
Yeah, I'm eating survival food.
Burritos?
Kind of a wrap with a.
I was gonna
I've
say that
never-
better not. You better not be in Mexico eating a microwave burrito.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
wrap
I've
with meat and some cheese.
in
That'd be
my
like Italy, going to Italy and eating, frozen pizza.
I have never eaten a burrito. Never tried a burrito.
Bill.
No,
Bill.
this is just a tortilla wrapped with some meat and cheese.
Bill.
Mexican sandwich.
Well, his wife's not
When I
making.
word with Tim at some point, because I were on his live stream the other day, and you can pin that stream thing at top of your stream, so you don't go keep putting it in links. If somebody wants it, they can just tap on it at top of the stream.
Oh, the link I put in there.
Yeah, you can actually have it stuck
Well,
at
that's true. I
top.
could pin it to the top, I suppose.
It was just a thought.
Bruce's wife's not making him lunch anymore. He said.
Are you still on holiday, Bruce?
I know. Well, I
Still
don't
in
blame her.
Mexico?
I don't blame her. She doesn't have to make me lunch every day.
So you're still in
Y'all are
Mexico,
making me
Bruce?
hungry.
Oh yes, I am. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got another
Magic.
week and a half, Adam.
It's magic. I'm working on a chainsaw at home, and I'm in Mexico.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say
You're
That-
you're really
that's
fast.
that's a long repair, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, I got to do a lot of flying to get back and forth to do that.
I assumed it was a Mexican chainsaw. You could tell when you started, and it goes L ring 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 ring. L ring ring. ring.
Okay, guys, I gotta hit the road.
Okay.
See you later, Wayne.
Thanks
See you later, Wayne.
Thanks for having me out,
Nice
Bill.
to see you,
Bye,
Wayne.
buddy.
Say hi to Jake.
Bye, Adam. Okay,
See you later,
Paul,
Wayne.
Simone, Bruce, Bill. Yeah, we'll say hi to Jake and Lori. She's the boss.
Yeah, Karen's the boss around here. I like to say I'm the boss, and she says, "Yeah, sure you are."
You're the boss when she says you're the
When I
boss.
allow you to.
No,
Yeah.
Judy
Yeah.
said that I could. She told me I could be the boss.
Yeah. This week.
Well, it's like I didn't ask properly last week for permission, so that's why I was cut out without
It's easier to ask
notice.
her.
And
No,
yeah,
it's a,
so this
It's
week
been
I'm like,
fast.
I had to ask several times through the week and let her know that I'm going to do a live stream on 3:00 on Sunday. Is that okay?
Now, you see, I get encouraged to do it. My wife actually bought me the StreamYard.
Nice.
She's, oh, you'll be in your office for 2 hours a week. Yeah, here you go. That's worth whatever it costs.
I
Yeah, we have 3 crazy
noticed
kids,
you've had a lot of
so
time on
she
your
wants
hands,
to-
Bill.
Yeah.
You've been green screening again, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, hey, you like the new intros? I've been playing around. I'm working on the new intro for every video.
I thought he's
I
got
like-
too much time on his
Bill.
hands, this bloke.
that's more
I like
work
the
than the
change.
video.
I like you turning the light on.
The
That
pull
first
chain's going to
one?
do something different every time.
That is awesome.
I've already got 3 more of them all lined up. And the funny part is I made 5 of them in one day. And yes, I changed clothes 5 times. But I made 5 of them in one day. Because, you got to get the lights just right and got to get the screen set up. And then got to get the cameras. I'm running both cameras to see which one I like better.
Yep.
Crikey, I won't get changed 5 times in one day.
If you had a green screen, you'd end up doing it eventually.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a different story, though.
Yes, saying about having to
I-
get changed. I was underneath the car yesterday and sorting up the prop shaft. And when you take the prop shaft out the back of the gearbox, what comes out of the gearbox?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I got that in my hair. EP90
Oh.
in my hair.
Oh, and that stuff stinks.
Well, you got to
And
put the
it's-
back up. You got to put the other end on jacks, so when you pull the drive shaft out, it doesn't leak.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah, you
had to
get it nose
basically,
down.
I had to get the side of the car off the ground, and because I'm in a brick garage, over here they're not very big. They're just about wide enough so you can get your car in. So yeah, rolling around underneath the car, and getting oil in my hair was not part of the plan.
No.
I do it all the
Yeah,
time.
we usually, if
I
we're,
got
if
no
we're taking
hair.
a drive shaft out, we'll put the car drive-ons, the drive-on
Engine
rams.
engine facing down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
back the
yeah.
car onto it and let it sit there.
yeah.
On some ramps.
Yeah, but I mean, not a huge amount of oil came out, but of course enough did. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I can.
You cleaned it up with your hair, right?
Oh, I did. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
Um,
are you talking the rear end gear oil, or are you talking like transmission oil?
Transmission.
Transmission.
Granny fluid.
Well, the transmission
Oh.
and the diff, they use the same oil on this car.
Yeah, we were talking on WhatsApp when it happened. I remember saying, "Ah!"
Well, I got out from underneath the car and it's like the smell and it's stuck to the side of my face. It's like, oh no.
That 90 weight oil is
Oh,
almost
God.
like dog poop. You can't get it. You can't get rid of the smell.
No, you
Well,
can't.
luckily, I got home and I put dish soap on it and like, just really
Dish
Washed
soap
it.
ruins the world.
like,
Dawn.
yeah.
Well, Dawn
Big
is
bubbles,
It's like
bubbles
the
in
little
it.
ducks on TV in the oil spill, right?
Mm.
So I want one of
I
those
use-
little things in the shower, that like the little thing you've got in the sink where you go twink, 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 and dish soap comes out.
Oh yeah.
I want one of those in the shower.
Manual
use
gearbox.
Dawn everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys have poison ivy problem. I'm allergic to poison ivy. I have Dawn dish pump right in my shower.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, anytime I work on somebody's equipment, I wash my arms and my hands if I'm
Yeah.
not wearing gloves, but I wash my arms and my hands every 20 minutes when I'm outside. So I have Dawn out in the shed. I have Dawn everywhere because it removes the oil so well that I don't break out with poison ivy. And I know half my neighbors have poison ivy. So everybody
That's what the
does
stuff
around
was
here.
designed for. The stuff was designed to break down grease.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Grease on dishes it's still grease.
Yep.
And
Actually, my daughter's hair stylist lady. Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started. Cost money. Girls are supposed to wash their hair like once a week before you do a heavy conditioning with dish soap.
really,
It
I've
strips
never done that
all of the
before.
old conditioner out, so when you put the new conditioner in, it sticks.
huh?
I never knew.
Well, I
See,
just
now
use
I've
soap.
got a skin condition. I've got like baby girl skin. I'm allergic to everything.
You are funny, Bill.
Yeah, it's true. It's like me and my wife joke about it to no end. She says, "What are you not allergic to?" And this is kind of new. All my life I've been fine, and over the last year or two,
I get that.
all of a sudden everything gives me a rash.
Wow.
If you actually look, you'll see some videos.
I can't use sunscreen. Turns my body into an orange.
Yeah, I use that little. They make this stuff called Afrin. It's the only stuff that makes me stop itching.
saying
Yeah.
saying that I can't use the expensive clothing clothing soap like Bold or like
Laundry soap.
laundry detergent. That's it. Sorry, I can't use the expensive stuff. I have to use like the store's own brand
Right.
because if I use the expensive stuff, I itch everywhere.
Well, yeah, that's like me and that sunscreen. If I buy the cheapest, crappiest 1.5 liter bottle of sunscreen from Walmart, I'm good. If I buy the fancy orange bottle with the chick on it, I break out.
No, that's not good.
I only put it on my nose now. I got skin like leather. I'm only 25, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway,
So there's-
Notice I did that when Simone was turned around. Hey, Simone. Note the timestamp and go back and look tomorrow.
Right on.
So how long you're out here for then, Bill? How long you coming over for?
I'm coming over on the 2nd. And
I'm
I
leaving you-
really want to, and I figured it, between now and then I've got, weeks to worry about it. I guess, I don't know what day it is. I guess I've got 6 weeks to worry about it. But I'm coming over June 2nd, and I know I'm at least there until at least Monday. So I'm at least Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday at very least.
Mm.
And I
Sorry,
think I'm
what?
going to spend the whole time bouncing around to everybody.
Sorry, which
so
day?
we're going to have to do lunch or dinner sometime.
Sorry, which date?
June 2nd.
Oh, June. Oh, we've got ages yet then.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's why I'm not too worried about it yet, because I want to
Yeah.
try to get with everybody a little at a time and make a plan.
June.
do it.
I think
Drive around, drive around, drive around, drive around. Go have fun with everybody.
it does. Actually, it might. June 2nd, you said.
Yeah. I might be there for a week, and they were joking earlier. I might be there for the rest of my life and not know it yet. She might
Hang
be
on a moment.
sending me off.
I'm just going to
That's so
look at
funny.
something.
Yeah, I said to Billy he's going to come home to an empty house.
Yeah, the house has been sold.
Your wife's a hell of a housekeeper, buddy.
As long as she's left you your car, you're all right, Bill.
Okay, Bill, if you
Yeah.
are coming on that date, on Sunday, the 11th of June, is Cortina Day in Wales.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And there are literally just tons of Cortinas.
I'm
Now,
out of here, guys. I'm going to the beach.
See you in a
you're
bit,
going to the
bro.
beach?
Cortina Day is on the 11th.
I'll tell her that we have to be there on the 11th.
Listen to
Let me go
this.
look.
Listen to this, you guys. A
Oh.
gold tooth.
I was going to say, is that a stud finder?
Yeah, well, some people might think that. See you, my friends. Sorry to be.
See you
Sorry
later,
to jump
Bruce.
in and jump
Bye,
out. Bill.
Bruce. See ya.
I thought I'd have lunch with you. See you guys.
Monmouth.
Let's
There
see.
we
Where's
go.
June at?
Cortina Day, Monmouth. Oh, it's 2024. Why is that one there? Nowhere near
Okay, so
2024.
it's Sunday. Yeah, I know. I think I go Friday, the 2nd.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for some
now,
reason, their
If
website.
I have a red eye, if I leave Friday, I don't get there till Saturday at lunch. If I take a 10 o'clock Friday night.
TCFG.
Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar now, and
Three
notice
Counties Board Group.
my calendar. I work too hard. There's nothing on it.
Okay, so for some reason, I've just tried to go to their website and it's not working. What is going on? Yeah, we are having trouble finding that site. Maybe they're updating it.
I'm updating it, or it's crashed until somebody restarts it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, well, what they've done is that it was being run by an older group and some younger people have taken it over. So maybe that it's down and they're redesigning it.
Or it's finished with old people that are on website, and it starts tomorrow with someone else.
I know it's been like it for about a week.
All right.
I just thought I'd try see if it was up, but there is a date. So the prospective date is the 11th. I will have to check on the Cortina forum though. How's my file doing? Still taking ages.
So what we on with this week, Bill? What we got repairing out? No.
But for the next couple of days, it's going to be all go-kart all the time. And I was telling the guys earlier, I can't buy equipment right now. I can't find anybody to give me anything. Everybody's
That's unlike
offering,
you. That's unlike you.
Yeah, everybody's offering me riders, and everybody's calling me and saying, "Hey, I need a push mower. Hey, I need a self-propelled," and everybody's offering me riders. Yeah, Michael, I'm going to Wales because, well, that's where she said I was going. No, she's an aerospace auditor, and she has an audit in Wales.
Oh, is that why you're going, Bill? All right.
Yeah, I'm luggage. I'm like carry-on luggage. I'm just going for the ride.
I'm carry-on luggage.
We joke that I'm her ground crew.
Cortina Day 2023. Last commented on the 29th of January. The committee have basically resigned to let a younger group take over. Rest assured that we will be part of this event as it continues. Watch this space for updates.
Oh God. What you got on this week, Paul?
Kids.
Ain't ya?
Nah, nobody's called me yet. As soon as the grass starts growing, I'll get a bunch of calls.
Okay. Sorry about that.
I mean, isn't that how it always works?
I know, I'm over here typing. I was actually responding to another guy just emailed me. Everybody wants something, but nobody's giving me anything to fix.
Yeah.
But I know what'll happen. 2 weeks from now, the garage will be dead full.
I'm gonna say, if you were all here, you'd be inundated with
Well, now,
two-stroke stuff.
now I didn't do what I usually do in the winter and stock up a whole bunch. I had 4 mowers, but they all went away in one day. Cardiff Airport. Yeah, that's probably it, Michael. But yeah, I had 4 mowers all saved up and a whole bunch of weed eaters and blowers and whatnot. And then I had a couple of guys come through and just empty me out. And now, and that's what made me jump over. Thursday or Friday, I jumped over back to the go-kart and said, I got to get that thing. I've got to do what I want to do to it and have the fun I want to have on it and then get that thing out of my garage. I got to move it down the road, you know? But the reason I bought the Predator motor originally was because that's
How
what I'm
fast do you
gonna
think
sell
it'll go with that Predator motor on it? If
How
you've got
fast
the
do I-
guts to go that speed.
Well, do you want me to give away how fast it went when we did the test after the chainsaw motor came off?
It went Predator motor on. I saw that one. It went to about 30.
Well, it went 24 in the video. It went 47 outside the video.
Did it?
Yeah. I tell
and
you
it
what, you start finding religion at about 35, 38 miles an hour. I mean, you start praying to like 4 or 5 different gods because all you can think is, I sure want to get this right before I die. You know? Yeah, it's really about 30 is where it starts getting scary. What do you do? I mean, it really is. It starts getting scary at about 30. And at about 35 or 40, you start thinking you might die.
A bit like Back to Future, you just keep seeing lines coming outside.
Yeah, and you think, I think, the first thing I thought, and I looked, my little speedometer thing has got a peak speed.
All right,
when I was going full blast, I put the phone down on my lap because I was 2 hands on the wheel, and I just let her run. And then I picked it up and looked. It said 47. I said, okay, yeah. I said, almost peed my pants on that one. I said, not going to do that again. No.
Not bad for going around down to the shops.
It's pretty terrifying. And it's
and those tires aren't balanced either.
Them tires are there's no size to them.
There really isn't, and that's part of the problem. And they've got too much air pressure in them right now, and that doesn't help. But it makes it skatey. It makes it like this.
Yeah.
But every time I stop, I do it by sliding sideways. I don't want to do that 40 miles an hour because I mean at 25 or 30 when it slides sideways, I did it once going 30, 32, 33, and it did a full donut and was going straight again. That's like, I need a helmet if I'm going to go this fast in this thing because this is terrifying me. I'm not the proud owner of a helmet at the moment.
I dread the day my son wants to get one.
Well, I've got one, and it's for my kid, but that was for when he was 10. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I might pick one up before I.
You should have seen my kids when the first time they were on their bike. I don't think they could move. Elbow pads, knee pads, the helmet, the whole 9. And now it's like, just go out.
When I got my kid, I got him a go-kart. I got him full battle suit. The full leathers with the armor on him all the way around, and armored gloves and the helmet. And you know, and my wife's saying, you know, he's a kid. Kids are going to get scratched up. And if he didn't own that go-kart 2 minutes before he flipped it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all the way over. And I looked and I said, "You okay?" He says, "My arm's stuck underneath the roll frame." I picked
Oh,
it back up and I says, "You okay?" He says, "Yeah, I didn't even really feel a thing." I mean, you can see his
Thank
hands
God.
were like this. So it scared him straight. You know, he
Oh, yeah,
settled
I
down on the
bet.
corners after that. But that was
Nice.
a standard issue go-kart, top speed of maybe 15 miles an hour.
So I'm curious. I pick up a lot of equipment this time of year. Well, in like a month here, and it's mostly people switching over from gas to electric.
Yeah.
Like I did last year. So I mean, do you see more people buying electric?
I do, and I actually hit people that offer me equipment when they're switching over, but I don't want anything that works.
Yeah, I kind of don't either.
I don't want to be a flipper. I want to do my videos. If I can't do my videos, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
hoping
not.
to do is flip, but I want to flip it by working on it.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's not much to, like I was saying earlier on, Paul, there's not much to an electric mower.
There's not much to a
No.
gas mower if you get into
No,
it.
but what I'm saying is you've got a battery, you've usually got a safety switch, which sometimes you attach to your hand in case mower goes off and handle you pull. That then usually goes to
A controller.
they don't even, some of them don't even go to a controller, they just go to an inverter. That's not an inverter. Yeah, an inverter that changes DC to AC.
yeah.
And then that just goes to a motor, and if there's brushes on it, you've got brushes. It's as simple as that. And usually them inverters usually pack up. Most common thing for them to pack up on. But if it's brushless, it goes to control, and 9 out of 10 it's control, which costs an arm and a leg anyway.
Yeah.
It's a gamble you take.
I know I'm going to have to try at one point or another an electric lawnmower motor on that go-kart.
That'll go quick. That will be quick.
Now I don't know if it will
They're all
because
torque.
I don't think it'll run with that Predator motor.
You won't
That
you
thing's
won't
a
Maybe,
beast.
maybe not.
you won't get enough torque out in it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Well, yeah, but with the chainsaws have horsepower, but they don't have that much torque.
Yeah, but I don't
Wait
think
till
you
you
get
see
enough.
the video.
I don't think
It's
you get
coming.
enough torque out in it, because what you got to remember with motors now, it don't matter what they're in, whether in washers or hoovers or whatever, they've all got to conform to energy regulations, so they've made them smaller.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anything you buy, that's why you get these hoovers, and people say this hoover can't suck up like last one I had. No, because motors 1,000 watt now, when before it were 1,800, because the only way they can conform to carbon emissions and all that crap is by putting small motors in.
Yes.
And they can put a much cheaper battery in with the smaller
So
motor.
only way you'd get out like that is by getting an Holden,
Well,
which
see,
is going to be tough.
I don't know if I mentioned it here. I don't think I did, but it was in your chat, Bill, that I did under a thing. I got a free electric battery operated snowblower.
Yeah.
Thrown in the deal when I bought some 3 mowers. Which, again, it was a teacher that doesn't. If you can't teach. So every year he'd just buy a new mower, and then he finally learned to run it out of gas every winter or every fall, and then put it away. And then the Honda is the one that actually lasted him because he kept doing that. But he gave me a free electric snowblower, and it had a 40-volt battery, but he didn't give me the battery. So I just bought the adapter for I actually use a string trimmer, a Ryobi 40-volt for my yard, because it's just enough for me to do my whole yard as in detailed as I want to do and take my sweet time. It takes 3/4 of a battery to do the whole yard, because I got a 1/4 acre. And so I wired that thing in, and I used it on our one snowstorm we had, which was like 5 inches of lush. And it did fine. I mean, it really did. I mean, I would not want it to be on a foot snowstorm, but it did what it was supposed to do, and I didn't have to shovel. So I can't argue.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's you said I always worked with a blade when I was up north. A blade and
Well,
lots of salt.
Yeah. And
But
I
yeah, I
will
don't
tell
think
you, I did soak the thing down in Pam before I used it.
It's Pam like the
Pam, yeah, Pam cooking spray. You do that on your shovels and you do that. Yeah, I know you're a Texas guy, but yeah, you do that on your shovels and you do that on your snow blowers to get things to throw. So you got oil on there and it doesn't stick. The snow doesn't
well, now I'm from
stick to it.
Indianapolis originally.
Okay, so you do know. So, but yeah, Pam spray is all what I use on all my outside stuff. Every snowstorm, I spray everything down with Pam the day before, and it works better.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see where it would give you at least a little bit of nonstick, and it's not like you can't respray it pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, I use it on. I only use Pam spray for two things. It's the pole for the bird feeder for the squirrels and the snow equipment. I don't use synthetic stuff on my food.
Well, squirrels got to eat too, you know.
They can go eat something else. It's not what I'm paying for. I really want to get a bird feeder with the remote taser built in for the squirrels. But I'm just very humane, so I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
I like squirrels. Squirrels are cute.
Yeah.
But the problem is if you start feeding them, you'll get 6,000 of them.
I like red squirrels, not grey ones.
Yeah.
Oh, red squirrels are beautiful, but they're huge.
Yeah, they're very rare here now. Very rare.
Now, see, my grandmother used to feed the squirrels, but she had to stop because when you don't put food out for a week or two, they break in your house.
Oh my word!
oh, big at squirrels. 6 foot.
So is it like
Well,
a
with big
gang
stick.
thing where like one of them knocks on the door and then you open the door and they all run in?
Oh no, they chewed right through the screen and the door, the frame of the window and everything. Like seriously, because they were used to being fed by that person in that house. They're like, oh, so we're gonna break in because you haven't fed us in a week because you're in the hospital, recovering from some whatever medical thing. So we're gonna break in your house, and they come home and there's flour and everything, and the whole kitchen's torn apart. And it was like 3 squirrels.
I'm imagining these squirrels with guns and knives and wearing masks and stuff.
Well, you're trying to get them breaking into
mask.
You wouldn't get them breaking into a British house. Put it that way.
I'm gonna say we've got a well, my mum's got a wood up back her house, and that's got a family of squirrels in that. And they never come on loan or out. They just stink wood.
You know how they fix it in Texas?
Shoot them.
Recipe.
Oh, yeah. That kind of recipe.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, the squirrels won't eat you out of house and home if you eat the squirrels.
Yeah. Now, Bill, barbecue or jerky?
Well, now it depends on what part of Texas you're talking about.
Yeah, squirrel and rabbit are very lean.
I'm gonna have to run.
You know, we had a fox running around our backyard yesterday, day before.
See you later, Mom.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye, nice
See you
to
soon.
meet you.
See you guys.
Yeah, we had a little red fox running around the yard.
Yep.
Just having a party back there. And, you know, my wife flips out and it's like, what's he going to do? Break into the house? You know?
Well, yeah.
You know, foxes are scrawny little creatures.
Yeah. They make a horrible racket, though.
Yeah.
When they're making their mating calls and all that, it sounds like choking something.
Well, just as soon they not try to mate with me, but yeah.
I don't think you have a problem there, Bill.
Oh, I don't know if you guys noticed. I got rid of the green screen.
Oh, yeah.
That's the actual blind that goes in the window.
All right.
It was underneath the green screen. I went and got one of those little blinds with a chain and put it inside the blind. You know, the little pull down chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ordered it a month ago. It just came Tuesday.
Yeah, I got to look into doing some videos. I mean, I got a bunch of car work I got to do. and I still have the mowers that I need to work on and stuff too. And I just delaying the inevitable. I mean, I'm not working on small engines for a profit by any means. I do it on the side. It brings in a little extra cash for me to buy more stuff to tinker with. And the biggest thing is air conditioners. I make more off of air conditioners than I do off of mowers.
Yeah.
And you can get them pretty
Yeah, I
cheap.
just put my own central air in here for one central air. I put a mini split in. Wouldn't call it central air, but
Yeah, it's mini splits. Those are great. They're high efficiency, like a 30 EEG or whatever rating and all that. You know, a window unit's like 12 if you're lucky.
I was pretty unhappy. The central air that I've got 2 central air units, and one's a 7, and one was a 1.5 ton. The other one was a 7 ton. 7 ton I had a new one installed about 8 years ago, but when the 1.5 went, I put the little mini split in. Works like a charm.
Yeah, they work great. And now you can buy the whole kit where it's pre-charged and everything else. You just hook the lines up. You got to do it quickly so it doesn't lose the charge, and you can do it as a homeowner. I haven't tried one. I might do that here, but I really would prefer to just spend the money and have Mitsubishi come out and do it. But no, window units are great. I mean, you buy a unit for $20. It's all molded up and everything else. You use Triple D. You spray it down. You hose it out with a sprayer, just a hose, or if not, a little bit high pressure, and clean it, make it sterile, and resell it. The biggest thing is the condenser coil in the back.
Yeah,
can be rotted out, and people don't see. They see the outside, which air is being forced out of the unit, so you can't really tell how much damage. But that's usually what's wrong with them is a back coil, which is the condenser. That's clogged up.
Yeah, mine only lasted 38 years. I was sort of disappointed.
Yeah. That
it was a 1985.
Yeah, what is it? The Emerson Super Cool.
Was it finished?
Hey, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
Oh. When I saw you were looking down, I said, "Oh, I can't pass." That's what I was saying. Wait. You're gonna look up and say, "Oh, crap."
How's your week been then, Tim?
Not a lot, nothing much really. Just I've got a few videos in the pipeline to try and get my channel sorted so I can get my channel monetized this year.
And I noticed you started doing a lot more videos. I've seen quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I saw your air dyeing moment of the week.
Yeah, yeah. I got it right in the end. With the live stream.
What were they? Cryptillions or something on it?
Yeah, Cryptillions, yeah.
So yeah. And then I saw your lawnmower video. What you did that?
Yeah.
Were it a Mountfield or something?
It's McCulloch.
McCulloch. What you filling that with it?
Yeah, McCulloch.
I saw you. Where you left that off?
Yeah.
Is that what you used to work, Tim?
On the motor.
It all runs in that. I just stripped it down because I wanted to take it apart and then just do the deck and redo the deck because the deck was full of holes with one side where it had been somebody had left it in the garden. So I took it in. The engine runs in that, and I've just drilled because I tried heating the end when I was taking it apart. I tried to heat the engine bolts up, but they wouldn't come off, but they wouldn't heat up. So I heated them up, and they still wouldn't budge. And I tried WD-40, I tried everything. So in the end, I ended up cutting them off with an angle grinder.
Right.
So yeah, and I landed myself in hospital for 2 days after that because I cut my finger open with a grinder.
You didn't, did you?
Yeah, I cut my finger open with a grinder, and they said that I was lucky that I didn't catch any of the tendons in my finger.
I did something similar, but I had a wire wheel. This was last year on a grinder, and I was grinding a frame for a generator down, and it slipped, and it went across the corner back end of my hand, and I've still got a scar down it where it's just like burnt it.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Gloves.
Yeah, gloves. Yeah,
I don't need gloves.
Yeah, or put the
gloves. Got to wear gloves every time.
Yeah, or put the guard on the grinder, because I was using the
I've
grinder.
got guard on grinder.
No, I never had
What's
the
a
guard
guard?
on my grinder. The safety guard.
Charging lead.
I've heard about those, but I've never actually seen one on a grinder.
What?
I've never seen one in the wild.
No.
What, a guard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
grinder guard.
No, I'm joking at him.
Yeah.
That's the first thing
Now-
I unbolt from mine.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna head
So-
out, guys.
Yeah, we got to call it a day. We've been at this for a couple hours now,
Yeah.
and I've got welding to do.
Welding.
Well, yeah, I've got to tighten up a couple things on the cart.
All right.
It's
The engine and
I've
that?
already. Well, honestly, the first pass is already done with the little
Yeah.
motor.
Yeah.
But I didn't film it.
Ah, right.
How many members you got now then, Tim?
330 subscribers.
And what's your plan? End of year?
Yeah, for 1,000 for the end of the year. So,
Well,
You know, you're almost dead on where I was a year ago.
yeah,
the only thing to that is, obviously, as you know, you've got to put the
Content.
videos out, 'cause we have videos.
It's content.
Content. Yeah.
And stay on the mark.
Consistent.
Yeah,
Now, you see a lot of guys that they'll get a few subscribers, and then they'll think, oh well, if I make more videos, I'll get more subscribers. But the problem you run into, like if you're working on small engines, it doesn't even matter what you're doing. If you're cutting grass, cut grass all the time. If you're working on small engines, stick with it. Keep 99% of your videos that way. It's like I've got some that aren't small engines, but they're the unusual. They're not. I won't do 3 in a row that don't have
No.
an engine in it.
no.
It's like the go-kart. It's still a
Yeah.
small engine thing.
Yeah.
It's just attached to a different vehicle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But some guys like, they like to see their motors on a lawnmower or on
Yeah.
a weed eater or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's why I'm going over to the chainsaw motor, because it's not it's
never
a
been
chainsaw
done.
motor.
Yeah.
We're back to the groove of what I normally do. But I see so many people, their channels actually go down because they'll say, oh, okay, so now I'm going to film an airplane. I'm going to film,
yeah.
hey, look, there's a car crash. Yeah, that's fine. There's channels for that. But
Yeah.
you can't be at airplanes and car crashes and small engines and cutting the grass.
No.
The people that come for one thing aren't here for the other thing,
No.
Mm.
Well,
I've
once
burned
I,
up some subscribers that way.
once I start grass cutting, because I'm hoping to start this week coming, but weather permitting as usual. So
Right.
I'm hoping to get out and get that done.
It's
So once I
forecast 10 days where I live a rain.
I'm
10
flipping it.
days of rain.
Flipping it. Hi, Luke.
But like you say, if you can get a few videos out, even if they are just to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what I put. That's what my title of my channel is, Grass Cutter Palmer. So, but most of my video, I have got a few shorts up on my channel as well. So, of doing other jobs that I've done. So, just to
Come
break it
up,
up.
look for a minute. We're getting ready to call it a day, but yeah, he's saying the same thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think
Luke's
if you're
a
trying to do
perfect
all
example.
else, I'm not saying you are, Tim. If you try to do all else,
Yeah.
you could always like have another channel to do that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You have one for grass cutting and have one for
Yeah.
repairs. Two
Yeah,
different
yeah.
channels.
Yeah, you got to hang with what you do.
Yeah.
And Luke's got a cut. He's got Mend It Man, and he's also got Mend It Man 2.
Yeah.
And I
But
believe
that-
there might
that-
even be a third one, unless I'm wrong.
Well, it's like I follow him. Tim, you might know him, but I know Tim probably will. Kid called Martin Butler does Retro Restore.
Yeah.
It's
No,
got
Martin Butler
retro
very well.
Ike's
Yeah.
And what's the other one? He's got three
had,
channels.
He had Butler's Empire, Retro
Butler's
Hacks, and
Empire,
Retro
that's it.
Restore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got them
And-
all.
Yeah.
But he's
I've
got
them
three
all.
channels and they're all for different things. That's what I'm saying. If you're
Yeah.
going to do it, you have 3 different channels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what you do. And Luke says he's got 2.
No, only 2. Yeah.
You've only got 2 now, is it?
Yeah, but he's got one of them that he's focusing on the mowers, and one of them he's focusing on vehicles.
Hmm.
So he's got a couple of little loves that he likes to work
I
on.
think I've only got one of Mend It Man's channels. Sure, I've only got
Yeah.
one of his.
I'm
But like I say,
is
that's the thing.
yeah.
So on that,
His
mean-
other
that
channel
brings
was
up a great point.
his other channel was mowers and stuff, but he changed it to Mend It Man 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That brings up a great point because I want to do like prepping videos, but I also want to do working on cars and vehicles, and I also want to do small engine repair. But it's like my whole main focus would be how to reuse what's broken.
Yeah, but Paul, if you're going to do that, you'd be better with 2 channels. One dealing with motors and engines, and one dealing with prepping.
But you could take the same video working on the motor and turn it into a different video for 2 different channels through your editor.
Yes. I know what you mean,
Well,
Billy. One video, if you're if they overlap at any point, you can swap one video and make 2 things on it.
Well, you absolutely could. You could make one on getting it running using the parts you've got, and you could make another one. Pretty much, you could do what I do. I turn the camera on and I leave it on.
Well, yeah,
and it runs and runs and runs and runs, and I'll have a 45-minute video that I say, okay, where's my 8 minutes at?
Yeah.
Well, and
why do you only make videos so short, Bill?
I don't mind putting a brand new carburetor, aftermarket carburetor on a mower or a weed whacker or something, but how can I make the old one work as well? And then it doesn't run as good, and then do a video of showing.
But now it's a lawnmower carburetor, any bull-based carburetor is easy to fix, and it will run exactly the way it did when it was new, assuming that the rest of the motor is correct.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I mean, it's like if I can, rip apart a carb that's completely seized and nasty, and patch the float, there's a hole in the float and everything else, and patch it and make it work. But then if I'm going to sell it, I'm not going to sell a unit that's patched together. I'm going to put that brand new aftermarket carb on it and then sell it. Yeah. And that could be a whole other content.
I don't consider it patched together once I've rebuilt a carb.
Okay.
It's using the same parts, but if you're using the same pull string, it's not patched together.
True.
By the way, Luke's saying the same thing I said about length.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. 15 to 20 minutes, but it's like you said, some of your videos can be as short as 5 to 8 minutes.
Well, yeah. Part of the reason I keep mine a certain length is I try to leave myself a little elbow room. Like I said, they're usually half-hour long when I start editing.
Yeah.
But I cut out 100% of me chasing a tool down. It's like if I go reach for the gas can, you'll see. Yeah. I say, okay, let's put some gas in it, and then I pour gas in. But I'm thinking about it when I'm doing the engine. And if I'm here working on it, and I say, okay, let's put some gas in it. I do this and say, let's put some gas in it. And then I start pouring gas in. 2 minutes have gone by. I might have gone to the gas station to get gas, but I pull my hands out as I'm talking so that you can only see the motor. And then when I put my hands back in, I can edit that all out and you'll never know it happened.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Like I say, it's no to do with me. I just wonder because obviously I don't do videos. I'm more watch them than out.
Yeah.
And I'll subscribe to anybody who I ain't got. I will subscribe to help their channel out. And obviously, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've got Tim's. I've got yours. I've got Mendit Man's.
See, now Luke thinks exactly the same way I do.
I'm finishing up right now, guys.
He actually likes the style I do, the get to the point video. Because now mind you, Bruce has a whole different style, but Bruce is much more social. And he'll laugh at himself in his videos. He'll say, "Yeah, I'm working on another carburetor. I don't know why you guys love it when I work on a carburetor, but we're going to do it again." And then so his videos, just because that's the nature, that's his format. He can do a longer video.
It's everybody to themselves. I just wondered. It weren't. I weren't pulling it. I don't think I'm pulling it down because I'm not. I'm not a type of person. I just
absolutely
question
it's a good
why.
Question.
Yeah,
that's 100% legitimate question. It's like when that little intro. It's like the last couple of intros have been the guy pulling the cord, and then something happens. Now, I intentionally, when I first did the first intro pulling the cord, it was 16 seconds long. I threw it away completely and started over again. Now, I kept the same footage, but I started over again and I got it down to 10.5 seconds. And I was happy with it. Because I said anything over 10 seconds, there better be a supermodel involved or I better be really funny. You know,
Oh yeah.
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 I said if I don't have either of those, and I'm not going to mention any channels, but you can have girls even working on lawnmowers, and
Yeah.
they get a lot of views.
Hmm.
Now,
But-
see,
I know what you mean.
Look, I don't have the
I
body
was
to pull that
planning
off.
I don't have a body to pull that
I
off.
was planning on doing videos, but not really taking anything out, which is the problem. You know, start to finish videos. At
Well,
the beginning, because I've seen a lot of other YouTubers.
Hey, Paul,
do
bring
that,
your mic
and
around.
All other, huh?
Bring your mic around. You're getting tiny.
How's that?
Yeah.
Is that better?
A little bit
Yeah.
better, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I was thinking of doing a start to finish videos where I don't edit anything, but it sounded like it's not even worth my time to even try to do that.
Now, yeah, you don't want to do that because I promise that you'll lose customers there.
Got it. Do it right from the beginning, or don't do it at all.
I mean, as Public Resting, you subscribe to a lot of channels and you see people's different way of doing videos and whatnot.
Definitely.
I mean,
yeah.
And I only use it as an example, like Ken, Small Engines. He don't edit them no more. He used to. He says, I just don't bother. If it's in and I've made a mistake, I've made a mistake.
I don't edit my videos.
Well, it's like on the last video, when I was working on that
noticed
jack
that, Tim.
shaft. I actually took that jack shaft off the bench and measured it on the go-kart about 9 times to figure out how big a spacer I needed and where I needed them.
Yeah.
But if you watch it, I spent 10 minutes playing with the jack shaft, getting it all together and getting it right.
Exactly.
Oh, and I put it in without the cuff in the middle, which
Right.
squishes the bearings together and makes it slow down.
Yeah.
But I didn't show that in the video because it's like, okay, you know, that's fluff that people don't want to watch.
Mm.
No, and I don't know how to like start and stop the same video.
You need an
on my
editor.
phone.
Well, you don't.
And that's
No,
You
you,
don't-
you
you
film it on your
stop-
phone
You
and then
stop it
carry
on
it to
your
your
phone,
computer.
then you start another video, and then you put them together, don't you? That's the way you do it. You start it, you'll stop it, or if it's one you're recording on your phone, you can pause it. Then, but if it's a sudden stopping, like, well, I've got to get bits for this and come back to it a week later, you stop that video, make a new video, and then we edit to you, shove them together, and make one video.
Here. You see
No,
that? That's the latest videos, right?
Yeah.
We'll take
Debbie
that
does
one.
Dallas.
What's that on there for?
Debbie does.
Debbie does. Okay, notice this. This particular clip is 19 minutes long. Now I've got an intro, an exit, and a 19-minute clip, right? And so the entire job took me 19 minutes and 8 seconds from the time I turned it on to the time I turned it off.
Yeah.
But if you look at the actual video, this video is like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee if we turn this on, it gets boring. I promise. You know? So I figure I'm not going to bother people with that.
No, my internet's not working good enough. Yeah, no, Bill, I mean, you really set the bar a lot higher for me than what I was expecting, and I'm going with it. So thank you.
Did you get a look at DaVinci?
No, I haven't. I got to move my computer out of my entertainment center, and I'm going to do it right.
Okay, now I got to
gotta
be
set
honest.
up a
DaVinci is an 800-pound gorilla that you got to wrestle for breakfast. So you're not going to be
That's
wide awake when you do it. You're going to look. And yes, I do film full HD. I film at 8K. I've got one camera filming at 5.3, I think, and one filming at 8. And then I cut it down to 1920 1080.
Yeah.
And that's how I pull off the zoom ins and zoom outs. I actually have the
want to
camera
phone it.
10 feet away from me or 6 feet away from me when I'm doing the videos.
Well, that's the reason you can do the zoom in, because your K is so high.
Yeah, but you can do it at 4K too.
Yeah, and I don't know what my phone does, but my phone is what, 48 megapixel? I don't know what that is.
48 megapixels. I don't know.
I don't.
Will it go 1920 1080? Will it go 2880?
I don't know. I know it'll do. I mean, for video watching, I can do stuff, but I don't know what the actual recording is. So I'd have to check that into that. But I'm just going to start with my phone for now, and then if my wife allows me to buy a GoPro, then I'll go that route.
See, it's like Luke's saying he uses an iPhone XR. An iPhone XR is a 5-year-old phone, and if you look at his videos, they look perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with those videos.
I know my video will be.
I use a 21, which is a 3 or 4-year-old phone.
What,
This phone
Samsung
films
S21?
8K.
Yeah,
8K video right there.
I have a Galaxy A51.
Let's go have a look.
A51. Yeah.
Samsung A51. I'm not the 5G. I'm just the 4G phone. But the
that won't
camera is
matter.
the best. It's $100 phone.
I've just got
I'm
a
all about,
Google
I'm
Pixel
all
7
about buying
Pro.
the cheapest phone with the best pictures because
The
I have
Pixel
kids.
7 is a good one.
Yeah, Pixel is.
Well, what happened? Where I went to look at a new phone because my phone were packing up this week. I walked out there with a phone and a tablet for less than 40 quid. And Google 7 Pro, so it's top of their range. And camera's immaculate on it. It's so clear, it's unreal.
Okay, your Paul, your phone is capable of 4K video.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the depth and everything. Run it at 4K, you'll be fine. 4K 30 frames a second, nothing wrong with that. That's 1080p.
Yep. Yeah.
There's not many phones out there that don't do HD now.
I only buy my phone, like me and my wife have the same phone, and I only buy it so we can take pictures of our kids and videos of our kids. So I've always tailored it that way, but the cheapest price. That's why I don't have an Apple.
Yeah, it's like Luke says, the phone will get ruined. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There.
What do you record on?
You want to see? What happens to a phone?
I use a Sony.
You can see the crack in my cover.
Xperia XA1 Ultra.
Wait, you have a Bill? You have a crack in your screen? Sorry, Tim.
No, it's in the glass cover. I keep Gorilla Glass on it. See how the corners all
what
bashed up?
What software do you use, Tim?
Every corner on this phone's
put my videos together, to edit them together. I use an app called Video Maker.
Oh yeah, no Video Maker. I've used that before.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's another thing that I want to do is phone repair.
Well, mine's got a crack in both the case and the screen's okay, but the case itself has cracks on 3 corners.
Yeah.
But
dropped it.
now it's on the tripod and I knock over the tripod.
Yeah, exactly. And it falls and yep.
Yeah,
now,
because I've got a cover with a flap on it because I'm very, very, very uncoordinated.
No,
I haven't noticed, Phil.
That screen protector on mine.
My screen protector is always cracked. It's cracked like 2 hours after I get it.
Yeah, I just replaced mine. Now, apparently this is really hard to do, but it wasn't that hard for me. My son has an Amazon Fire tablet, and he's 8 years old, so the screen gets broken all the time, and usually I can trade it in, but he's past warranty, and they had sent us one that didn't work, and they didn't have us send it back. So I took the screen off of his old one, which apparently that's extremely hard to do, and I put it on his old tablet. But apparently taking a new screen that's not cracked off without cracking it is very hard.
Yeah.
But I manage no problem. So I don't. So people have been telling me, hey, you should get into fixing screens and all that stuff.
Being there, done
really
that, got
nothing I
t-shirt.
can't do.
Yeah, Tim. Yours is also a 1080p camera.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. That's more than enough to do videos.
Yeah.
I've got the only time that I pull out the little GoPro 10 is if I'm working on something where I know I'm going to be in the way, and I like to get cute and do multiple cameras.
Yeah.
But I know I'm getting cute. I'm doing more than I have to.
Yeah.
But you're having fun doing it, Bill. and I really enjoy your videos of the different screen angles and
Yeah.
being able to zoom in because your video quality is so high that you can zoom in.
Yeah. Yeah, you can zoom in and see like molecules. You know, you can see the atoms spinning just about.
Yeah.
No kidding.
But yeah, it's
But
honest to
there's
goodness.
no interruption. Yeah.
There's a doorway right next to my bench, and I put the camera on the other side of the doorway, and then I'll literally look at where I'm standing, and I'll move the camera until it's at an angle I like. And if I think I'm going to be in the way, I set the other camera up on the bench, usually facing down, which is why you see a lot of videos with the down shots.
Yeah.
What kind of script are you thinking? If you wonder if I script like the text and everything, I really don't. I usually play it off the top of my head. When I'm doing jokes and things, I use a teleprompter.
Now, is it really somebody telling you the camera's rolling?
Oh, in the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. The little voice I've got in the beginning that says we're ready to go, and I say okay. That was my dear Uncle Jim. He ended up getting a brain damage. He fell off a ladder. So I keep that on there because, you know, just out of respect for him. It's the same thing every single time because the poor guy had a hard time even saying one word for almost a year.
Oh man.
Yeah, he really is beat up. But yes, he was holding the camera, and it's way back. If you look way back, I've got a video of changing the pan out on a Volkswagen, changing that 6-bolt circle to one because you have to take that whole thing off to change the oil. I changed that to one that has a bolt in it. That's his Volkswagen, and I had him hold the camera, and I told him, and we were joking. It was funny then because I cut it all out, and I kept that one little piece of audio. But the whole thing, when the whole thing happened, I said, "Okay, Jim, listen. Now, when I say go, then I'm going to start talking. Tim, don't get me blacklisted here with the audio.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I'll turn that down.
Yeah, don't get me blacklisted. But yeah, he was going to hold the camera, and I said, "Okay, Jim, as soon as I say okay, go." And then remember, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the camera. And he says, "Okay, I got it." I said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do." And he says, "Tell me when to go." And I went, "Okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the camera." And he says, "Okay, I got it." And then it became funny. So he did it again to be funny. And he says,
"Yeah."
And I said, "Okay, on this car, we're going to." And he says, "What shade of orange is that?" Or something like that. And I went, "Said you're killing me." And then he laughed and he says, "Okay, I won't do it." And I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then so, you know, we stopped, we had a soda, we were laughing for a few minutes, and then we went back to it. And he says, "Okay." And I said, "Okay, are you ready?" He says, "Yeah, I'm ready." And I said, "Okay, no more after this." He says, "Yep, got it." And I said, "Okay, you ready?" And he says, "Yeah." And then I walked back to the car and he says, "We're ready to go." And I went, "Okay." That's what went in. And of course, you know, I cut it all out of that one. But, you know, then I heard it later and thought, you know, I like that. I want to put it someplace, you know. And then it became part of the intro. It's a little wave file.
It works. It's just I was always wondering. I'm like, does he have an assistant or not? Because I'm pretty sure you're doing it on your own. But
yeah, my assistant's front yard is a par 5 if it's a golf course.
Yeah.
Oh,
my house is about the size of his garage.
Nice. No, I get for my old boss. My old boss was a liquor store. He was a member of a country club, so I kind of have an in with the town. I think that's kind of why I can buy stuff as cheaply as I do. But
funny enough, Jim owns a liquor store. If you watch, you'll see I've got a when I wear black shirts, a lot of the black shirts will have a liquor store logo right here, and that's his liquor store. I think it says Whiskey's. No, he has a bar too, a restaurant and bar, and the bar is Whiskey's. but I might have one of those too. I don't know. Yeah,
My
good
boss
people.
was
It's
too
like his
cheap to
wife.
ever buy shirts.
Yeah, Luke says he's got an assistant. Yeah, he's got Laura.
Kettle One, Buffalo Trace. I mean, I don't. My boss was too cheap to buy an actual. The name of his package store was O'Keefe's Discount Liquor.
Yeah, I think Jim's is.
But
Well, I don't know what the name of it is.
But he's Italian.
Whitey's. That's it.
Nice.
I had a few of them in my time.
Well, the name of the store is Whitey's. I just couldn't remember.
Sorry, Tim's not picked up on it.
What?
Whitey's.
Whitey's, yeah. I've had a few of them as well, mate.
He says name at shops Whitey's. I said I've a few of them in my time.
Yeah, I've had a few of them as well.
So now, Paul, they've got some inside joke going. We don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue. All I know is in the back of my head right now. I know I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah, we really do have to call it a day.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I don't care because when I leave, then it starts. So I don't really.
Yeah.
Then this
And
shit's
it's
gonna
not
hit
like
the
you
fan.
can be more on the couch.
Yeah.
You know, she can't send you more on the couch than she can send you. What's she gonna do? Make you sleep on the floor next to it?
Well, no, she can make me sleep in the shed, but then I'll actually get some work done.
Yeah, right.
It's like that joke, innit? Bartender said to bloke at bar.
I'd love for her to
What's
send
wrong with
me
you?
to the shed. You know, if she sent me to the shed, I got diaphragms that need to be changed. I got all kinds of stuff I gotta do.
Okay, go ahead, Adam.
So it's like that joke. Bartender says to bloke at bar. What's up with you? He says, you look down. You look down. Like he says, well, me and my lass have had an argument, and she's not going to talk to me for 30 days. Bartender says, oh, what's wrong with that? He says, it ends tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, you must have looked well rested.
Now I know with you guys, that's why I do the banners.
They get worse.
Yeah.
They get much worse than that.
Yeah, I bet.
This is one of my favorites.
Have you got one of them joke books? 1,000 worst jokes of 1980s.
Today was a terrible day. My ex got hit by a bus,
201 fascinating facts.
and I lost my
Bunch of
job.
science
as a
fiction.
bus
Dave Barry. That's
driver. Oh dear.
Or parachute one. I like the parachute one.
Parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to know a whole bunch of jokes, but I
You
don't
don't need the
anymore. My
parachute
memory
to
doesn't
go
work as good.
skydiving. You need the parachute. Yeah.
To go
To
skydiving
go
twice.
skydiving twice. Yeah.
Skydiving twice.
Now, funny enough, most of these actually came off my comedy channel. So I've got the other channel.
Have you?
And it's all
You
humor.
haven't, I didn't know.
Didn't know you
had
got another channel.
Bill.
Random humor with Bill.
I'll have to
Yeah.
have a look at it. Random humor with
Oh,
Bill.
Yeah. So, like,
Bill,
look,
I have a serious question.
Yeah.
I have a serious question to ask you, Bill.
What's that?
How are things? Because the Silicon Valley Bank, went under. How are you doing?
No, it's I had Fidelity kill all my money. Silicon Valley didn't hurt me any.
Okay, no.
God.
Yeah.
And I personally don't keep money in the bank. I'm a silver and gold holder and property. So
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't let
Yeah.
banks have my money. As much as I need to pay my bills, that's what's in the bank. And then there's $5-10 after that. I don't.
Yeah, but I always
I
think
don't.
if the world collapses, I'll get all the property I want. That's just whoever has the biggest gun gets the most property.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, you don't even have to have the biggest gun to begin with. The guy you walk over with a gun is your next gun. So, like, I'm part of prepping channels, and the thing is like, I know all these preppers that are like, oh, I stock this, and this. And I'm like, well, when somebody takes you out, I'll just take that. But I'm not going to go and try to take you out. But
No.
it's like, seriously, I mean, what do you see in movies?
Yes. Yes.
A lot of
I
movies
got a leaf
suck
blower.
because,
Yes.
Yes.
woohoo!
Woohoo!
See, I'm not big on leaf blowers
What state
until
is
the
it in?
fall.
Not working.
But she's selling it to me for $10.
$10.
Hey,
That's a bargain.
That's worth
Don't
it.
snap that up.
is it going to be content though?
If it's not content, I don't want it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
You
see,
guys
for
see,
me-
you guys see 90% of everything that comes through.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm working on
I'm
getting 2
telling
a
you,
week,
I
and I can't get 2 a week if I don't do everything.
you know what?
What?
I'm going to have to do a whole separate
The 2
channel
videos
on
a week,
cleaning air
Bill.
conditioners.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to 2 a week, but it's hard. It's a lot of work to get 2 a week.
You don't realize
So-
it because obviously you've just not got to work. You've also got edited videos,
Yeah.
and that's what takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot more time than the video itself. Now, from what I understand from all the YouTube content creators that I'm involved with, because I'm actually involved quite a bit. I'm a moderator on several channels, and I help other channels, and I talk to them on the side and everything else. I actually had to moderate a channel pay me money for moderating his channel, and you have to put a video out every week minimum to keep the algorithm happy with YouTube.
Yeah.
You see this little stack of stuff here?
Yeah.
That's my intro to the lives.
Right.
What
So
all
it's got-
that?
That's it. These are all titles, and all this stuff here is all the videos that are in. I moved a folder, so some of them are red right now. But these are all the videos. That's what it takes for that little 30-second counter.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
that's not DaVinci, right?
That is DaVinci.
That is DaVinci. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta play around with DaVinci, and I'll have fun with it. I mean, I'm an old DOS. Now, Bill, I'm dating myself here, but I'm an old DOS 6.22 Windows with Workgroup 3.11 guy. So,
Hey, you see this?
I
This
know
is what I was working on before the video.
Yeah. All right.
So now you know you can go here.
Yeah.
And do this.
Yeah. Right.
You can go here and do this.
oh,
And now when
damn
it plays, looks entirely different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
And then
not
you go up
military
and
looking.
fluff it around a little bit and get it the way you like it.
Oh, I gotta still play around with that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
think-
built the computer lab for my school, and I built the was it where they did the news for our school and all that with the $8,000 camera back in the 90s and all that stuff. So I mean, I have a little bit of knowledge in the back of my brain somewhere. I just
This
I
is
gotta play
the
around
intro
with it
for the
real
last one.
Yeah.
You know, where it hits the light and it
Yeah. Yeah.
clicks and all that.
Yeah.
Notice here's the sounds. Right?
Yeah.
You see this down here?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it, but I saw it.
Didn't hear it. No.
I didn't hear it. I just thought it was me.
Oh, yeah, it does the little tapping thing, but see down here, you can see what the video actually looked like before I edited it.
Hi, Rusted to
Yeah.
Roland.
I like the double tap. That was nice.
Well, like I say, I could do
You know what that
content.
is?
but
That's
each,
me.
each video I
Okay,
can
here's what
let
the
me
video
down.
looks like before I start.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we take the Delta key out,
All right, guys.
Yeah.
that's what it actually looks like. That's what the camera
I think
sees.
the doghouse just got really big.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
did
I'm
it?
gonna go as well. Yeah. And I'll catch it all on the next one.
Yeah,
Will
this whole
do.
top thing here. It's just
I'll
the
watch out
chain.
for your next video, Tim.
Last one. Cheers, Adam.
All right.
Yeah.
Right,
speak to
we'll
you
call it
later.
a night.
Yeah,
See
we
you over
really
there.
got to. We really got to break this out.
Tim,
Yeah.
Tim, I look forward to your new video.
Cheers, Adam. Paul. Paul.
And no doubt I'll see yours later on in week, Bill.
Yes, Bill. I'll have to. Yes. Bye, everyone. And I'll
we'll be
catch
here
you all
next
on the
Sunday, and
next
I'm going
one.
to do my damnedest to make it 2 hours next time.
Yeah.
See you later.
See you
Yeah,
later,
well,
Adam.
Bill.
Oh,
Bye.
you got
See you later,
my
Paul.
email and my phone number and all that,
Bye.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Somewhere.
yeah, if you want, yeah, I can set one of these up and just do 2 people on it. And I can get you started in DaVinci. It's complicated. It's definitely rocket science, but you find the things that you want to do. And then you quickly reach a point where you start putting favorites together, and there's ways to save things so you can reuse it. And it's like
Yeah,
that
like
little intro.
Like
that I just showed
intros
you.
and that.
Notice the name of that was Intro 6. There's 5 others. You've only seen 2 so far.
Yeah.
But I dropped the screen down. You see what the green screen looks like. I dropped it. It takes up 2/3 of the garage. I drop the screen down, and then I keep changing clothes and doing intros. But it's just me in front of the camera. There's nothing but me in front of the green screen. And then I go through it all, and then I add the other things later.
Okay.
So it's layers and layers and
I'll
layers.
have fun with it.
Oh, absolutely. It's like that.
I mean, there's
that little neon logo. It's just my logo. It's my logo. I added 2 things to my logo. I added an edge detect, and then I added a flicker effect to give it that little bitty neon flicker. And that's all there was.
And we're all that done in DaVinci.
It's all DaVinci.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
And
like
there's a free version.
Mm-hmm.
Now the one I'm using is the full DaVinci Studio, DaVinci Resolve Studio, but the free version will work fine. It might do everything I do, but with the full studio, I can use my my GPU because I've got a huge 3080 Ti GPU on the computer, which speeds things up greatly.
Yeah.
But I figured for $300, it's worth it just because, like when I'm making these little intros, when I hit the go button, it takes like 1.5 seconds and it's done.
Yeah.
If I do a normal video, a 10, 12 minute video, it takes, without the GPU, it would take 15 minutes to process it all and get all the clips and cuts and transitions and fades and, all the bells, because I put lots of bells and whistles in, right?
Yeah.
So it would take about 15 minutes without the GPU, and it takes about 1.5 minutes with the GPU. GPU is graphics processor.
Yeah.
That's your video card. It's a big video card.
Yeah, and I mean, even a entry-level video card usually has memory slots where you can add memory to them so they can process faster.
But you don't want one of those. You want to go for at least a 3060.
I'll talk to you about that after.
Yeah. Well, now, okay, mind you, I probably spent $4,000 on this computer. Almost half of it was the video card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there are cheaper ways. There are cheaper ways to go, but I wanted an 11 series processor, which is the newest, shiniest one. I went with a Republic of Gamer motherboard. The newest, shiniest Asus Maximus 13 or whatever it was 8 months ago.
Well, I mean, you're a Silicon Valley
I'm going to leave
guy,
you
so
two anyway.
Totally
I'll speak to you later.
I'll see you later, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
I'm going to go ahead and shut us
Bill,
down for the day. I appreciate everybody coming. I appreciate everybody coming, and we'll definitely see you next Sunday. We're going to have more go-kart coming on Tuesday.